Hello, my name is Joe Trier and welcome to Rime of the Frost Maiden. It has been 10 days since the events of Lonely Wood, and our heroes, joined by a new friend, Talin Uran, have been hired by speaker Duvessa Shane of Bryn Shander to discover who or what has been intercepting their shipments of whale oil. The heroes journeyed north many days across the frozen tundra to arrive at the shore of the Sea of Moving Ice. When our party arrived, they discovered the answer. Goliaths from Sky Tower Shelter had been flying here from their home in the mountains and paying outrageous prices for the valuable oil. And although they outnumbered our heroes, especially when you take into account the fact they were riding mighty griffins, they actually did not attempt to threaten or intimidate. Instead, they offered a challenge, a game of goat ball. The winning team takes the oil. The losing team pays for it. So let me paint a picture. To the north, right now, lies the Sea of Moving Ice, where titanic icebergs bob in churning black waters of unknown depths, crashing into one another with destructive results. On the shore, a rough rectangular pitch has been delineated with burning torches. Huge chunks of ice, sharp icicles, and areas of open water form dangerous obstacles for the players of this game to navigate. The two teams face off against one another. On one side, the Goliaths, 2 men and 2 women. They have peeled off their warm weather clothes and stand confident, their grey stone-hard skin painted with blue and red whorls. They have spread out, representing defense and attack, ready to start. On the opposite side stand our heroes, ready to play. So let's meet them. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Owen, let's start with you. Tell us about your character and how they're standing, ready to play Goat Ball.
So Xalfiz isn't so much standing, he's sitting on the back of Lady Penguin, kind of zipping around the field. He's kind of in the back third of the pitch, trying to, be the hard-nosed defender that he is, all 3'6" of him.
Nice. And next up, Kuran, do you want to tell us about Graham and where Graham is?
Right, Graham is just on the wing. He's going to be attacking. He's got his parka open and he's trying to be as authentic to the sport as possible.
Really cold.
Really, really cold. Yeah. He's realized that he's in over his head, but he's just got it open anyway. He's like, it's cold, but it's all good. We'll push on through.
You will get a nod of respect from the Goliaths for doing this. That's it's a big part of. Well, we'll talk about their culture maybe.
One success.
Niall, again, welcome back to the show. Tell us a bit about Gann and how Gann is approaching this game.
So Gann is up front. He is going to be the one who is facing off against one of the Goliaths for the start possession of the ball. He's actually up front face to face with one of the Goliaths, and he says good luck in Giant because he actually speaks Giant, and the Goliaths also share that kind of language with him.
Nice. And for anyone who hasn't played, who is Gann?
Gann is a firbolg. He is a large, 8-foot tall, blue-skinned firbolg. If you are watching the stream, you can see the picture of him in one of these directions. And
nice.
He's standing there. Go ahead.
No, okay. I was just going to say, on our last pair tonight, welcome to the stream, sir. It's so fantastic to have you on. Could you tell us a bit about your character and where they are on the pitch?
Okay, Talon is on right wing attack. So he is currently waiting there. I will say before getting on the pitch, he's had the same kind of blue runes the Goliaths have gone for, war paint across his face.
Nice.
He is definitely geared up to go. He's currently got on his wheelchair on the tires. He's got snow chains currently on them. He is ready and raring to go. He is a tiefling. He has very vivid red skin, black lips, really vivid yellow eyes, that kind of cat-like eyes, and black hair. He is, kitted out in typical rogue leather armor, studded leather armor, kind of get up. And he's currently taken some of the upgrades off his wheelchair because he feels that maybe bringing a crossbow isn't the best idea right now. He needs, full access to the wheels. And at the moment, to stop from like drifting on the ice a little bit, he's got the emergency brake like pulled tight, so the chair's currently not moving.
Perfect. And I will go briefly into the rules of Goat Ball in a moment. The pitch is, as I said, surrounded by these flaming torches because you are in the frozen north under Auriel. There is no light at all. Above you, there is a frozen sky. The flickering flames are really the only light. Outside the pitch stand the rest of the Goliath warriors. There are 12 of them. And there are a number of griffins. Each pair has a griffin which they've ridden across 10 towns to get to the spine of the world, or to get to the Sea of Moving Ice, to get this valuable oil. And the far side is a group of halflings who are selling this oil, and they are looking like they are doing an exchange of money, betting on the outcome. Now, this game is similar to a skill challenge, which is how we've played in previous episodes, but to score a point you need to get 3 successful rolls in a row. 1 point to gain possession of the ball, and then 2 to score. If there's a fail, it doesn't mean that you lose a point, it just means that the Goliaths gain possession of the ball, and then you have to get it back for them. If there's 2 more fails, then they score. You can use any skill at all, and I'd like you to flavor your descriptions into how your character was playing. So ideas could be like tackling or passing or dodging or feinting. And as I said before, there are a huge number of obstacles for you to use. There's blocks of ice, there's pools of water, and then there's of course the other players. Now, the Goliaths have not precluded violence. In fact, their attire and approach seems to encourage it. They are all incredibly well muscled and are staring at you, maybe not with kind of anger, but with seriousness and a very, very maybe over competitive approach. What I'd like to do is roll initiative, and we'll see the order of play, unless you'd like to choose an order of play first. Obviously, Gann, you're going to go first because you're trying to grab the ball.
I think initiative is probably safest after the initial.
Let's do it. Okay, so can we have initiative, please?
Who's
well,
first?
if anyone else has any doesn't agree with that, let me know.
I think it makes sense for Niall to jump for the tip.
Yeah.
Well,
then
we'll
we'll
start
go.
almost like a pre-round, but otherwise we'll go in initiative order.
I got a 10.
Okay.
Starting
Go,
off
Kuran.
strong.
Very strong.
I
Get the
get
bad
a-
rolls out of the way now.
Oh, so all my rolls are bad. That's my secret.
I got 28. That's a nat 20.
Nice.
Okay.
Goddamn rogues. I rolled a 13.
Okay. And Niall, last one.
I rolled a 2 + 1, so a 3.
Okay. So
Keeping in team with Gone.
okay, there is a blow from a mighty horn, and a griffin sailing over the field drops a ball. Now, this isn't a goat's head, as you might imagine from the name, but it is a ball wrapped in goat skin. You have all had a go at kind of like passing it back and forth pre-game. It is rock hard, and it is in itself a weapon. It falls down between you, Gann, and another huge Goliath warrior. I need you to make a skill challenge to try and gain possession of the ball, as you both go
Knowing
for it.
that it is a physical sport, and there's probably shenanigans, like, people doing stuff to get possession and stuff. I cast Hold Person on the Goliath right across from me, and I just jump up with them frozen in place and take the ball.
Okay, nice. So that would be an Arcana roll. Could you make that roll, please?
Yes, I can. +2 roll. That is a 14 + 2 is 16.
14 + 2 is a success. So describe what happens.
So Gann, you see him put his hand into his pocket and take out just like a small little bar of iron, and he just like bends it between his hands and puts his hands out, and the Goliath just freezes in place and can't move, and his eyes just go wide, and he's staring at Gann, and I just give him a nod, and I just let the ball fall into my hand. I don't even jump to catch it, and then I throw it back. I throw it back towards Graham.
Okay, nice. Okay, the Goliath warrior falls down in front of you and she's looking up, not with anger, but almost like glee in her eyes. She's finally met a worthy challenge. You can see her struggling against the magic bonds, and to your disbelief, she is breaking them.
Well, once I pass the ball away, I do release the spell because I don't want to be completely unsportsmanlike. I just wanted to give them possession at the start.
Okay, Graham, the ball comes sailing over towards you. It's your round.
I jump up to grab it, and as I land, I take a look at the pitch, and I'm looking for an opening somewhere, and I see. Wait, who was next in initiative?
Sarah's next.
Sarah's next. So I see Talon over in the corner, and I look over at Xalfiz, and I look like I'm going to throw it to him, and I kind of feint in one direction and then throw it over to Talon.
Okay, nice. Give me that roll. What skill are you going to use?
Deception.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh, so that is 10 plus 6, 16.
Okay, that is a success. And actually, you were so successful, the Goliath warrior that had been blocking you sails towards Xalfiz, crashing into him, completely fooled by your feint, and the ball flies towards you, Sarah. Your round.
Okay. So is it like the objective is to get the ball to like a goal, essentially?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just the other side. So
Right,
one
okay.
more success will get you that goal.
So
A touchdown, okay.
during this like time, the minute like the ball was thrown up in the air, Talon was off. He's moved up to like one of the corners on the side. As ball comes towards him, he is going to, because he's built up momentum. He pulls his emergency brake as he turns, so like the chair kind of skids along, like round in a drift. Snow going up and ice going up from under his tires. And he's going to snatch the ball out of the air.
Nice. Okay, what skill would you like to use?
I would say acrobatics, maybe.
I think that works really well. Okay, give me that roll.
Boy, please be good.
No pressure. That's a good well
No
here.
pressure.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's an 18. He has 18 plus 8 is 26.
Nice. So tell me how you
Probably
score this
good.
goal.
Yeah, so he skids round, snatches the ball out of the air, and as he drifts past the goal and just throws it in.
Okay, so it's one to the home team. Right. So the ball is collected, and the Goliaths don't seem not delighted, but they are really enjoying the challenge. The someone comes down and grabs the ball, gets on the griffin, and flies up high. Who would like to someone told me what this is called in basketball. And I
Tip off.
Tip off.
Tip off. There you go. Who would like to
Sports.
be in this?
Yeah.
I was gonna say tee off. That's golf, isn't it?
Oh God, Joe.
Yeah, we enjoy sport ball.
Yeah. Do you want to stick with Gann, or how do you want to do this?
If you guys are okay with me going again,
We could try the second option, Niall. What do you reckon?
I like that one. Let's do that one.
So,
We
Xalfiz.
don't have anyone up there right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
Looks like we're just letting them take it.
Gann is
Okay.
standing by Xalfiz.
Gann takes Xalfiz by the scruff, and he's just
By the
going
scruff?
to fling him, like the back of his jacket, not your scruff, but your hood or whatever. And he's
Yeah.
just going to fling him up.
Try and
Okay,
catch it.
okay,
Acrobatics,
nice,
I
okay.
guess. For me.
So we'll do that. So we'll start the round with. So this will be yours, Xalfiz. We'll start with you as your sort of like to start off. Give us that skill
So
roll.
as I'm standing by Gann and he's picking me up, Lady Penguin's already started moving up the pitch. So basically, he's going to throw me into their half, and I'm going to try and land on Lady Penguin.
While
So-
taking the ball through the air. While you're going
Yes, there's a lot of moving parts to this. We're cultured players. I got a 4.
Oh no! Can you have advantage because I'm helping him?
Not at all. Okay, so Xalfiz, what happens? How did the Goliaths gain possession?
So I would say it works perfectly. I'm going right at the ball, and I hit it, but when someone throws a ball to you, you got to catch it, and you just be too slow and it hits you in the face. That basically happens. So I clap behind the ball and just knock it into their half.
Okay, so they have gained the ball. In fact, the Goliath warrior Gann, who you cast held person on, jumps up, far higher than you'd think is possible, snatches the ball from the air after it has obviously clobbered Xalfiz in the head, and comes down in a roll and starts pounding up the pitch at incredible speed. She leaps onto one of these ice blocks, flips over a pool, and is halfway down the pitch before you know it. Graham, it's your round.
So what I do is I scoop up a whole bunch of snow and I have it under my arm and I run up like adjacent, like beside this giant, and I just switch out the ball for the ice.
Okay.
I'm
What
like,
skills
oh,
there?
whoa, I didn't see anything. So that would be a sleight of hand.
Nice. Okay,
Trying
give
to
us that roll.
replace it. I'm assuming it's so cold they can't feel anything anyway. Oh, that's not looking good, but the number is 13.
13 is not good
Man.
enough. What happens?
So as I try to like push in the ice, and I grab the ball, I do actually get the ball, but then she literally just pushes me over and grabs the ball again, and that's it. And I fall into like face first into the ice.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Okay, Sarah, it's your round. Sorry, Talon, it's your round. They
Okay.
need one more failure to score and
Okay.
even up this game.
Talon
Okay.
at this point, seeing the fumbles and the other team getting this ball, he has he's built up momentum. He is completely like gunning towards this one Goliath with the ball, and he is just gonna hit the brakes again, but pivot onto one wheel and just slam into her to tackle her.
I love it. Okay. What skill are you going to use?
That is, I believe, because he's proficient with the chair, that would be an acrobatics for him.
Nice, absolutely. Give us that roll.
Again, so... Oh, wrong dice, sorry. 13 plus 8, that is 21.
That is a success. You have regained
God.
possession. What happens?
Yeah, he like just like barrels in, hits her with this, the tire, which is gonna sting a bit because it's got snow chains on it. I just remembered, so that's gonna sting. And as he turns, he's gonna shoulder in from like where he is in the chair. He brings his shoulder in and goes to like grab the ball.
Just have
Perfect.
Graham
And,
with a
you know-
mouthful of snow looking up going, oh. My goodness for Talon.
Okay, last up is Gann. You need
Right.
2 successes to score.
2 successes to score. Okay, so Gann sees Talon getting possession back for us, and he is going to, let me see what I have at my disposal, I guess. He's going to go into kind of the midfield area where there's maybe 2 of the Goliaths standing, or if there's one of the Goliaths standing marking him. He's
Sure.
going to cast, I want to cast Thunderwave, but I've already done Arcana.
No, it's just
It
not the
wasn't
roll.
used. It wasn't used last round, so it's
Okay,
just
so
gonna- yeah.
he's gonna just clap his hands together, and Thunderwave is going to be cast. He's trying to push the other Goliath away from him, so he's completely open to receive a pass.
Nice. Okay,
And
give us the
he will
Arcana roll.
Try an Arcana roll again. Oh God!
Oh boy. started off so strong, lads.
You got a nat
did.
1.
Oh gosh. Okay, what happens?
I think he goes to like clap, but he slips, and then he ends up casting Thunderwave just like on the ground in front of himself and just blasting himself back like 10 feet.
Okay, so the Goliath, the ball comes sailing over, and they snatch it out of the air. and start pounding down the pitch again. We are back to the top of the round. Xalfiz.
Yeah, Talon sees this happen and just goes,
Calm down.
all of that.
Dude.
I'm
So-
trying.
Xalfiz kind of picks himself up after getting basically thrown 8 feet into the ground. Gonna see Lady Penguin, who's kind of cross with him, say, "Look, what do you want me to do? Look, hop on Lady Penguin, see what's happened." And basically, he's going to try and predict where the Goliath is heading, and zoom on Lady Penguin and basically try and body check them. And I'm insight to kind of figure out where they're going. Does that work?
Yeah, I think so. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Oh,
Insights plus 3. It's lagging out for me. That's not good. That's a 9.
A nine is not a success. So what happens?
As I'm like flying towards the Goliath to try and body check them, they kind of just see what happens and like, I don't know if they jump me. Let's say jump me, and I just career past them. And because I'm expecting to hit something, I'm expecting my momentum to stop. So as I try to brake, I just end up like skidding off the pitch, I guess.
Nice. Okay, I can perfectly picture that. Okay, next up in round is Kuran. Graham.
Right.
One more fail and they will score.
One more. So it resets every time we get one right.
No. So basically, you need to get possession, then 2 successes, or for them, they need possession and 2 fail for you to fail twice.
Okay.
So there's been.
So they're just about to score at this point.
Just about to score, yeah.
So I've picked myself up out of the snow and the ice, and I've spat it out, and I'm like, right, I'm gonna get this now. Right, it's up to you. This is the moment. I'm like, damn it, and I decided to button up my parka because I'm not as strong as I thought I was. the cold weather's getting to me, so I sprint off as fast as I can, and I try and take out my harpoon and stick it in the ground and launch myself over to just dive directly into the arms of the giant to grab the ball with my whole body, just torpedoing in.
So
I love it.
Just cradling you.
Yeah, exactly. If I mess up, that's what's happening, right?
Okay, give me that roll. What are you rolling?
Acrobatics, that's +5, and 16. There we go.
16 is a success. You gain the ball again. What happens?
So I've knocked the ball out, and it lands in Talon's hands, and I'm now being cradled by a giant. This is it. They think, they try and touch me down on the past the line, and they realize I'm not the ball. I'm like, ha!
Throw you into the net.
Nice. Again, sorry, because I'd forgotten you've not really played much D&D. So current Goliaths are they're humanoid-sized creatures, so they're sort of medium-sized, but they are very much of the stone. Their skin is the color of the mountains where they live in, and they are rock-hard creatures. Not sort of dwarves, but I guess maybe we can get a chance to go into the history at some point.
Build.
I think more Malphite than a giant, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So anyway, I've landed in. I'm being cradled by said rock monster.
Yeah. So Talon, wheeling backwards, catches this ball. Is there a lot of these Goliaths currently around him at this point?
I think there could be, yeah, because they were probably at least 2 of them running up and in a sort of attack formation.
Okay. Play dirty, it's fine. He's gonna reach onto his wheel where there's almost it's sort of like a plate that goes over the plating underneath, and he's going to unhook it and turn it in his hand. It's a discus that it turns and is used for, and he's gonna fling it and try and go for their ankles to knock them out underneath.
So acrobatics was used last round by Graham, so you'd have to choose a different skill.
Yeah. I will go for God. Go for a difficult one to think.
Trying to help you, but I ain't got it, I'm afraid.
No, I'm trying to think.
So the ones that jump to mind are athletics, sleight of hand, or deception.
I'll go with sleight of hand. Yeah, I'll go with sleight of hand then. So d20. That is an 11. So not great.
It's not a success. No. So how do they gain possession?
Maybe he goes to unhook it, but because it's really cold, fingers are numb, a bit slower than usual. So they managed to get the ball. He probably pulled it off and probably dropped the ball as he was trying to fumble with it.
So they've regained possession. They need 2 more successes to score and even up the game. Gann, it's your round.
All right. So, my skills are really not good for this because, yeah. I guess
skills.
Yeah, basically. Gann sees this happen. He sees them regain possession. He's going to use the racial trait that Furbolgs have called Hidden Step.
Okay.
Or basically, I go invisible. I disappear. And he's just going to try to clothesline the Goliath with the possession.
The Goliath's done nothing wrong to us, and we're beating the shit out of them.
Okay, maybe not clothesline, but like he's going to like shoulder to shoulder tackle while trying to remove the ball. So he's
Almost
kind
like
of
getting cradled, okay?
he's just going to kind of appear next to them, and hands on the ball. So I'll just I guess use a athletics for that.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the other thing is because you're using a stealth maneuver, stealth would work really well. And because you are casting an invisibility, you do get to roll advantage on that.
Okay, then I'll use stealth. It's the same modifier as strength. It makes no difference to me.
I mean, you get
I
to roll
an
advantage because
8
you're
plus
invisible.
1, so that's a 9. And let me
That's
go
a
one
9.
more. Oh yeah, a 5 plus 1. That's a 6.
Oh, no. Okay,
That's
so
two
they are...
failures. Gann just appears, tries to grab it, but they just like elbow him off, and he's just like,
I was about to
Damn
say,
it.
like, you said you're playing dirty. They are doing equally the same. They are playing very, very rough. They will knock you aside. Although they're not using weapons or magic, they are fully able and capable of knocking you to the ground and keeping you down there. They need one more to even this up. Xalfiz, it's your round.
So Xalfiz is sick of basically making himself look like a fool because he's quite the good go ball practitioner. So he's at this stage come back onto the pitch. He's kind of tracking back, and he's side by side, maybe about 10 feet away from this Goliath, and he's looking at the ice they're running on. It's kind of cracked and not quite smooth in places, and he's looking. He realizes a weak point that if he can hit it, it's going to crack in front of the Goliath.
Okay, nice.
And he's going to try and hit it with his extendable. So with his infusion, he's going to use the extendable pole that he's made from his arrow.
Okay.
So I'm going to say nature for the ice.
Yeah, I think that works.
There you go. You know,
I have to say, I think you're right. You have been incredibly inventive with your roles. I like it. I think you can have inspiration for your.
Get it? Can I have advantage? I'll use that inspiration. I'll use that inspiration immediately as I roll a 9.
I don't think Joe's ever been so kind, especially not to Owen.
Okay, we'll take it. At 18, I finally passed the roll. Let's take 5 of them.
there we go.
So, as the horn blows to end the game, Owen and Xalfiz, describe the final maneuver. What happens?
So Xalfiz, thinking he's cool and going to save the game, is speeding along on Lady Penguin. He sees this opportunity to end the game by getting the ball from the Goliath. He hits the button on the little extendable arrow he has. It hits the ground and the ice begins to crack, but he hasn't thought of momentum, and he kind of ends up pole vaulting himself into his own end zone at the same time.
Oh, okay, sure. So the score is in your favor. You win the game. The Goliaths are all completely magnanimous. They all shake hands with you or high five you. They pay for your whale oil. Your quest is successful, and they each get on the back of these giant griffins and sail off into the night. And you are left in the kind of dying embers of these flaming torches. Over to one side, sat on these barrels of whale oil, there are the 3 halfling merchants who are selling it. And they're like, one of them looks really, really happy. The other 2 look completely pissed off. And over the sea of moving ice, you can see the kind of, not the sun, because the sun doesn't really set as it were, but you can see just the hazy remnants of the sun floating across the dark waters as it turns into night.
I am very glad that we ended it there because I was going to get really dirty. I was going to use a medicine roll, which I actually have very good on, and I was going to try to like look for a previous injury and like break one of their ankles or something.
I also think it's very important that I point out every time Talon was drifting, Deja Vu definitely played, so.
Xalfiz is currently trying to organize an open top bus through 10 towns as we return with whale oil and hopefully a trophy of some form for the golf ball.
I mean, we're still, so you haven't left yet, you're still on the pitch. The halflings are kind of sat on the oil, and one comes over to the happy one. He's like, well, I'll be that was the most incredible game of goat ball I've ever seen. I didn't think the Goliaths could be beaten. Not at their own game. Wow.
Yeah, well, in fairness, I don't think we would have won if it wasn't for Talon. I think I caused more trouble than help, to be honest.
Well,
I mean, you
I
are
have to
very
say-
tall.
You are very tall.
Then again, you are very tall, very small.
Anyway, I don't know if you noticed, but my friends over there, they betted heavily against you. Heavily against you. They thought the four of you couldn't possibly stand against those Goliath warriors. And I stood by you. I believed every gold piece I owned. And you won. You've made me quite a rich man. So, I'd like to maybe do you a bit of a favour. You're quite capable adventurers, yeah?
Yes.
Some might say the most capable.
We've dabbled.
Well, I have heard a rumour of the, the whalers that gave us this oil. Apparently, there is a ship not far from here trapped in the ice. A deserted ship. A pirate ship. And I reckon its hold is probably chock full with pirate booty. I'm sure all the pirates have long frozen to death, or at least maybe head over to 10 towns. But maybe if you wanted to journey there, I'll tell you where it is, and maybe cut me in, say, 10% of what you find. I'd happily draw you a map.
I've one question. This booty, the desserts, is it tiramisu or like what kind of like? It seems like an awful lot of hassle for just some pastries.
Gon is just face planting right now.
The dessert ship? No, just me. I'm the brains.
Dessert.
No.
If you'd be interested, I'd happily, draw you a map or what have you.
Why don't you go yourself?
Well, first of all, I have a bit of a job here, and I'm not sure if I really want to give up this lucrative whale oil sales. I mean, I buy the oil from the whalers, and then we sell it on, well, mainly to the Goliaths for a great price. But mainly, deserted pirate ship doesn't really... sounds more like an adventurer thing to do rather than a merchant thing to do. But I could sell you the map, as it were, give you directions, and if you cut me on some of the profits, I'd be happy doing that.
If we're going to cut you in on profit, I don't think we should have to buy a map off of you.
Oh, no, I'll give you the map.
Okay.
I think that's what he meant, John.
I'm gone. The negotiations are flawless.
He said sell us a map.
Would you like a map? No, we will not buy a map.
Indeed, yeah. 10% for the map and some directions,
that is
yeah? So what do you actually know about this ship?
Well, I mean, honestly, all I really did is overhear the whalers. And I'm like, I haven't got a map. I'll draw you a map. They were talking about it. It's not too far from here, maybe 2 miles down south along the coast. Probably shouldn't have told you that.
And on that note, I just start walking down the coast.
Yeah, on that note, adieu.
I don't believe he was saying 10%, Talon. It was ridiculous.
Oh, God.
So, are you leaving him to it? Are you...
Oh, God.
Talon's gonna say, no, now that you've given us the information, we're cutting it down to 5%. No more.
That... And he looks a bit dejected. That's probably fair. That's probably fair.
Good, because I was just about to say take it or leave it and then roll away.
Wait, I mean, how long is that pirate ship there? When you say long frozen to death, like, why do you think there's stuff in there? Surely it's been looted by some crazy Goliaths or, I don't know, whalers or whatever's around this place.
Well, that's the risk I'm taking. I will take 5% of nothing if there is nothing there, but I believe there will be something there.
Hold on, what risk are you taking? Just in terms of the risk, exactly, to you, personally, in this situation.
Well, normally I'd say, well, if you don't want it, I'll walk away, but you obviously don't want it. But I would greatly appreciate it. And how about this? If you do return with some booty, I reckon I could probably get you and your town a discount on this whale oil. I might even be able to find you some favourable terms against these Goliaths who have been outbidding you and Bryn Shander. How about that?
Definitely seems worth it.
Worth it enough to go back up to 10%?
No.
Okay, relax. Oh.
Don't make me knock it down to 3.
Understanding no from everyone there. It's like,
I know.
Oh. Well, pleasure doing business with you. And he looks to sort of like he looks dejected, but he does seem to have one of those faces that always seems to be smiling, no matter how upset he is. Do you want to take the whale oil with you, or do you want to leave it then with them while you go off and come back later?
Oh, 100% bag of holding this stuff, right?
How much is it? Like, can we fit it in the bag of holding?
If the bag of holding is everything, like, you know, hold like thousands of pounds.
Well,
just like
I mean,
pouring a jug of oil into the bag of holding.
So it's 6 large barrels. So you have at least one large dog sled that could hold this on it. I don't want to rules lawyer you, Owen, but I'm going to in this case. The bag of holding, you can only get things in it that can fit through the opening. So unless you actually want to pour the whale oil in, which is a solution.
Works, I think. As long as we have somewhere to pour it back out of.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't think of it being
fair enough for
I guess
pouring it, or
no. Not oil on my stuff. Wait, hold on. Does whale oil freeze? Someone put that up in Google. No.
It does thicken up.
Oh God! I'm not putting in the bag of holding. I think we're good.
My bag is just full of goop.
I think we're settled.
And as amusing as it would be if you to find this out, the bag of holding, when you turn it upside down, things don't actually pour out of it. Like it's not because it's a plenty of things. You'd actually have to, I don't know, do a thing like with petrol, you know, when you like suck it out and then get it to.
Oh.
I mean, I could get a spoon.
Was it?
Yeah. I could get a spoon or a cup or something.
What? 6 barrels of whale. Like what?
So essentially, we're putting the barrels on the sled because someone's precious about their bags.
Okay.
Well, we can share it. We can put some in all our bags if you want. However,
okay. So let's have as we kind of journey along the coast. Who's on the sled, and does anyone else have any other means of travel that they'd like to describe?
Well, yeah. Gann has the white moose from our last episode, which I don't know if any of you guys have seen a moose in real life. I have. They are huge, like massive. So
weird flex, Niall.
Well, a lot of people don't realize how big moose actually are.
It's not. It's not a deer.
It's I think it's pronounced meese.
Meese, yeah. Okay, sorry. People don't realize how big meese are. But anyway, like the moose would easily hold like Gann plus probably Xalfiz and Graham if they wanted.
Oh, well, Lady Penguin is going to have like you press a button and skis pop out under her tracks, and
I'll just be on the sled, spending 100%. Time with the dogs.
And Talon, how do you travel through the snow?
Talon's going to do it like the way he got here, even though he's wearing snow chains. Like, you know, pushing your chair through that is just a hassle. Plus, there's no telling when you're going to hit a snowdrift. So he has these like ski kind of what they called, like just ski kind of things on the bottom of skis, that go onto his, like the 2 main wheels, and then the harness of the dogs that he has rented. Nice. He clips them one to like either arm of his chair. So he's going to be using a dog sled method to get through.
I love it. Okay, so your party.
Oh, and the dogs are called Baked and Bean.
Oh, that reminds me, Gunn, I meant to pick up with you on your moose. So the white moose of Lonely Wood is not the average white moose. This is almost like Gandalf Shadowfax. He is the king of mooses, meese. And he is not like your servant or slave. He is a chosen companion and will journey with you as a choice. Like it's almost like he's representing the meese, and you're representing the druids. And you've had an opportunity over the last 10 days to get to know him, and he will have shared with you his secret name. Have you had an opportunity to work out what that is?
I have not thought about that yet, but this does give me an opportunity to include chat. If someone can come up with a good name for the moose as we're going throughout the game, I will pick again the winner, basically, so to say.
And if it's Moosey McMooseface.
No, I'm not calling him Moosey McMooseface. Oh, Bullwinkle is so good.
It's an early contender. It's an early contender. It's an early contender.
All right.
Who was that called out, Bullwinkle?
It was the Squire.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So you head off into the snow. it is going to be quite a journey. I mean, a couple of miles across this rocky terrain is not easy. And as I mentioned before, there's almost nighttime, so you will have the opportunity for a long rest if you wish to take it. Otherwise, you can continue and arrive as the kind of sun is completely set. It's your choice. I'm sure you could rest in the ship. Nothing bad will happen there.
I'd like to rest along the way, or at least maybe when we see the ship in the distance, we can set up camp and just like plan for what we do the next day. I've used the spells already, so that's why I want a long rest.
Okay, so describe this camp to me.
That's a good thing to. Maybe like, is it just a barren wasteland, or is it like deep snow, or is there like drifts anywhere and stuff like that?
It will be. It's a tundra basically, so it's got the rises and falls as the snow is being blown across the ice. You are on the edge of the sea of moving ice, so the permafrost extends across the water for many meters. I mean, probably like hundreds of meters off into the distance, where you can see the silhouette in the far distance of this trapped ship, and I'll give you a description when you get a bit closer. Beyond that is the open sea. There is a possibility of finding shelter amongst the kind of hunks of ice if you wish to.
Yeah, if possible, like whichever direction the wind is coming from, maybe we could like post up on the other side of a hunk of ice and maybe dig into one of the drifts so that we have maybe a bit of a shelter, and then outside we can maybe, or even in the entrance of it, we can cast bonfire. I can cast bonfire or something like that, so we have heat, and I'm assuming we have rations and whatnot that we can cook.
Nice, okay.
Xalfiz, you might have some better ideas.
No, I think that
Mr. Practical.
I think that works. Practically flawless. I'm still trying to work out how to get barrels into a 2 diameter bag. I'm just looking at it and trying to like, push the bag against it.
Always doing some calculations there.
Okay. Has anyone got anything else they'd like to do before we start setting watch, if you wish to set watch?
Is there a way that Talon's bed can be like slightly off the ground at all?
Yeah, we can like. Oh,
on the barrels, maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Say, like,
yeah,
maybe
using,
from,
yeah.
Or like the sled, maybe we could.
Oh
like,
yeah, using the sled would be a good idea. Yeah, because Talon's paralyzed from the waist down, so he wouldn't be able to get really low to the ground and then back into his chair if it's too far away. So.
Well, you have travelled for many days to get to the Sea of Moving Ice, so I actually assume that you've got tents of some sort, and you probably will be well prepared. So it probably wouldn't just be like a rough camp. You could have, and these would have been supplied by Bryn Shander, there will be tent or tents, and within the tents themselves, it wouldn't just be like a fire, like you wouldn't be relying on your bonfire spell. There would be these kind of like burners that you would put coals in or charcoal in, that would, like a metal burner that would sit inside the carpeted tent, depending on what you brought with you. So it might actually be more comfortable than you'd imagine, because this would be a prepared and well-funded trip.
So I'm just staying in my nice cushy tent with my wood burner.
Talon's tent is gonna have like a bit of a green weird glow to it because he has one of those lanterns with a green flame candle in.
Nice.
So yeah, he's got that next to his bed.
So, do you wish to set a watch?
I don't wear a watch. Sorry, too easy. Sure, let's set a watch.
Talon will take watch first, just so like he wouldn't then have to get into his chair partway through the night and faff around a bit. So yeah, he'll take first watch.
And then my big question is, so before we set who they are, would you take your watch inside a tent and kind of just listen, or would you be outside in the freezing night, maybe taking shelter from a nearby rise and looking out into the night? How do you want to do this?
I think he would go out into the snow and like move around a bit, like kind of keep a small patrol, and then once it gets too cold, it's kind of go to like the entrance of the tent. So like I can still see out in one direction, but having to listen out for the rest.
Okay, so Talon's first. Who would do the second watch?
Graham will do it, and Graham will be doing it from within the tent because he is a wimp. That's good.
He got really cold when he took his coat off.
He did. He's not okay with it.
Okay, who would like to take third watch?
Xalfiz probably will.
Okay, go for it.
And Gon is taking the fourth watch. Which
When
would
it
be
starts getting bright
dawn.
because Gann hasn't dark vision, has he?
Yeah.
Well, it never gets that light in Icewind Dale. There is not actually that much instant through the night. A few of you kind of hear a strange sound coming from the sea, but you kind of almost cast it aside as this is just the sound of wind across the ice. Until Gon, you are staring out into the darkness and you can just see in the east the kind of red, rosy, shadowy glow as the imitation of what stands for Sun and Icewind Dale begins to rise. And you're looking out across the ice to the sea and you see something. I want you to give me a perception roll.
Okay, perception. I'm pretty sure I'm trash at that, so... Oh no, I'm good at that. It's one of my good ones. The 5 plus 4 still doesn't matter, I only get a 9.
In the direction of the boat, you hear a roar, but it's muted somehow. And then you kind of stare out and you can see a shadow, something 10 foot high, marching towards the ship.
Okay, awesome. I will go... Who took first watch? I don't want to wake up the person like Xalfiz who I just relieved. I'm going to wake up Talon.
Oh, and Xalfiz is dying in his sleep.
Okay.
Well, no, you just went to sleep. I want you to get some sleep. I kind of go back and nudge Talon while like still keeping an eye out, and I'm like, Talon, are you awake? Talon.
He isn't awake, but like as soon as like you come in the tent and start, banging around, asking if he's awake, yeah, he like lifts his head up from the pillow. Heavy sleeper, so drool. He looks like a mess.
Gann doesn't even notice. Like he kind of just backed in. Like he still like has his head out, and he's like nudging you, but not looking at you. He's like, I need you to come look at this. There's something out there.
You just like there's a moment of quiet, and then just he's like, yeah, give me a minute, and he, with the kind of practice of like someone who does this a lot, like rolls over and with his chair very close to the bed, hands on the armrest, pulls himself in, and then pulls his legs in after him, puts the seatbelts on, and he's like just looks up at Gann. He's like, this better be good, like yeah, he even takes like his like fur skin duvet with him, like he drags it over himself on his chest. Yeah, and like doesn't want to use his hands to push the wheels much, so like he's using his beacon stone to like guide it in the right direction rather than push. He just wants to be burrowed in his duvet.
Okay, so you exit. It's more like a yurt than a tent. It's more of a sized structure. And you exit and you can see the sort of hazy light of dawn casting its shadowy light across the tundra. There's that kind of... if you've ever been sort of skiing before and you have that... The frost is in the air and skating across the surface, the permafrost. You squint your eyes. Do you have night vision or dark vision?
Yes, I have 60-foot dark vision.
So this is beyond the range of your dark vision, but you can probably make it out more than Gann. And there is an enormous figure, at least 10 foot high. I mean, you're a good 200 feet from the boat, but trying to clamber up the side of the boat. If you want to give me a perception roll, see if you can make out any details.
Okay, perceptions is +2 for me. Oh. No, that's like a 9, but if you wanted to go with passive, I have a 13.
No, this would work as passive. So you can't see what it is. It's just an enormous, gigantic form. And as you watch, it goes around the other side of the boat and you lose sight of it.
And this figure, when I saw it, it came from the sea? Or
you didn't see it, just came from across the ice. I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you have any idea what that was? Did you see it?
Talon's just gonna like just kind of be staring at the boat, and he's like, Yeah, I guess we're not having a lie-in then.
I mean, no, it's probably not a good idea. We should let Xalfiz get some sleep, then wake them up and get on the move.
Yeah, Talon's like, yeah, okay, right, gotta go get ready then. Yeah, like he goes back to his tent to dismantle it all, put it away.
Okay, so you're going to dismantle the tents completely? You're going to leave them up? And how long do you want to wait before you wake up Graham and Xalfiz?
We'll give it a couple of hours before, like maybe an hour or two, just to let Xalfiz get some sleep. Or how long into my watch was it before this happened?
You're probably halfway through, so you've probably only got an hour left of your watch anyway. So
we'll give it that extra hour, and in the meantime, I'll take apart what I can take apart, and let the other two finish sleeping. By the time the hour is up, we'll wake them up.
So you spend the next hour preparing camp, maybe even preparing breakfast, but the whole time you've got an eye on this enormous two-masted schooner, which is sort of slightly tilted to one side, embedded in the ice. And at no point do you see any sign of this enormous figure that was marching around its perimeter.
Okay.
So we've got to go wake up Graham and Xalfiz. Talon's gonna go politely to their tent first and just be like, hey, like, you awake?
It's not so polite. Tom just goes and wakes them up.
And anybody who doesn't respond, he's like, well, you had your chance, and like we'll go into their tent, like just unannounced, and begin banging on the metal rim of his like wheelchair wheels. And they make a really loud tinny noise to wake people up.
I'm up.
So Xalfiz, are you a morning person?
Xalfiz, I think, would be a kind of morning, overly annoying, enthusiastic person, I imagine. Not at all like me, but that's the vibe I got off him. So I was like, another sleepless, instant-free night. How are you, fellows?
Well,
Talon's just gonna be like, yeah, well, boat's haunted.
Yeah, we saw something at the boat. There's something big down there.
Boat's
It's haunted, right? Seems to
Uh,
be a bit of a theme here, doesn't it?
you're going to need to give me a bit of hand with the, like, big is relative. How big is big?
Bigger than me.
Yeah, bigger than Gann.
Was
Bigger
it
than
bigger?
Eoghan.
What about was it your moose, Gann?
It was not my moose.
No, I don't think moose climb ships.
Yeah, it was it was larger
at least-
than me.
It was at
10
least
foot.
3 moose.
Okay, we're measuring a moose.
It was
That's
3 meters high, eh?
Mm. That's what the M stands for. It's not meters, it's moose.
Oh,
How is
sorry.
it's moose-rick. It's moose-rick, not metric. We use it in the rounds.
Meestrick, right?
it's important to know
Meestrick,
how
yeah.
is Xalfiz's hair in the morning? Is it still just like perfectly peaked, or is it?
Oh
like...
no, it's definitely like flock of seagulls flap down in front of his face. Man, there's
I'd love if it
there's
was
so
still
much of
peaked,
our
but,
audience.
like, a little to the side.
There's so much of our audience who won't get the reference of flock of seagulls. Look, Google it, guys. It's an 80s band. And then like he gels it up with he casts grease on his hands.
Oh, that's fantastic!
Like Dapper
Grease a
Dan.
level 1 spell.
Yes.
Appearance
but,
is everything, Joe.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Worth it, 100%. I will do that every day if that means I get to be cool. This cool. I'm a greaser in a land where there's no hot rods or leather jackets.
Okay, so you've gathered up. You've had a meager breakfast. You've gathered up the tents. It sounds like you're doing, and you're still staring at this ship. Graham and Xalfiz, because you haven't actually yet had the opportunity, would you like to give me a perception roll?
Ooh. I'll give it a go. No, that's a 5.
It's not good enough.
There doesn't seem to be anything out here. Are you sure there was a creature out here?
Well, the wind is picking up, and the frost that's being carried it actually sort of makes you squint and makes it hard to see distance. You sort of end up having to cover your eyes and stare out across the sea, and you don't see any sign of any ghosts or any other figures.
Xalfiz, did he say anything?
What did you roll in?
I was waiting to roll this way, or waiting for the feature description, sorry. It is thinking, apparently, for me to roll.
Oh, I see it.
There we go, 15.
15, yeah. So you don't see anything, but you do hear something. Above the roar of the wind and the distant roar of the waves crashing against the ice, you do hear something else. Something from deep within the bowels of the ship. And it sounds like something angry. Something frustrated. Roaring against its bonds. Whatever this creature was that Talon and Gunn saw in the night hasn't disappeared. It's within the boat.
So the monster appears to be fond of desserts, because it's in the boat still, guys. I can hear it.
You
Like
can hear it.
I like the idea of me having some sort of like little artificer ear horn. Like it's only small, but it's like little satellite dish on the top of it, and he's like, yeah, definitely I can hear it. I mean, it could be just a polar bear or something, but it sounds like many moose big.
Talon's gonna he folds his arms over his chest and he's like, I'm cutting the halfling share down to 2%. He didn't mention a big monster. That's 3 moose tall. Which I think is definitely more of a risk. So he's not getting a bigger part of the cut than we're getting, so.
Danger money, makes sense. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain about more profit.
So Joe, oh, go on.
I was going to say, just in character. So, what are we going to do? Or do you want to? I mean, you really think it's worth it? Whatever's in that boat.
Well, I think it could benefit British Standard if we can start getting cheaper prices on oil, and it would help us.
So, something that was 3 moose high, and you yourself have told us how incredibly large a moose is. A meese, sorry.
He's like petting the moose on the head.
Gann has seen one, and it was a real weird flex.
Yeah. No, so, yes, and
I mean, I hear you.
We're going to go over.
I hear you, but we're sacrificing people to the Ice Maiden when we can sacrifice heat. Maybe a couple of barrels of whale oil for my life, your life. You know, the whole lottery thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Maybe.
You lose track of these things, you know. So that's why you're around here, Xalfiz. You always remind me of why we're here, why we're doing this good work, the people's work. No.
Yeah, we're all about the people, and potentially the black ice. But so while this is happening, Xalfiz kind of turned back into his tent and got like a notebook, and he's like looking through it because he's been in the Icewind Dale for I think 3 years at this stage. Is there any? He's basically done research on animals, biomes, towns. Like, is there anything in his notes to tell him what this might potentially be?
I think if you'd had the opportunity to see it, you'd be able to identify it. But from the roar, it's definitely not a polar bear, that you recognise that enough. But it's not a roar that you've heard before.
Okay, this sounds bigger than anything I kind of would have encountered in Icewind Dale, bar giant dragon.
There's a lot of monsters in Icewind Dale.
Okay.
Question out of character, Joe. Do we still have Blessing of the Dawnfather?
Yeah, that's a permanent.
Every morning.
Oh, it's permanent.
Every
Sweet.
morning, yeah.
Oh, it closes for 24 till the thing closed up. Okay, let's add them.
Got it, yeah. Perfect.
Thank you to Squire for pointing that out.
Yes.
This is very handy. Now we're facing a giant thing. So we're going to get the pirate booty. Did I use that word right?
Yes. Are we all ready to go?
Yeah. Really not sure what we're facing.
Can I use survival or nature to see if it could maybe understand what it is or think about what it is. I lived here
Not
all
from
my
where you
life.
are, but if you want to go and look for footsteps and things like that.
Yes, that's a good
One
idea.
question I do have is, I know you've sort of mentioned packing up the camp. In terms of things like the oil and the dog sleds, are you going to ride it out onto the ice, or are you going to there is an opportunity to maybe try and conceal it within the kind of rises and falls of the snow?
That is probably a great idea, rather than being
Yeah.
encumbered with all the stuff we have. Do we
And
want to do that?
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay,
Joe.
so you're heading out. You're heading out into the over the ice towards the ship. So, I mean, the sea of moving ice stretches out before you, a featureless frozen desert. Ahead, the smooth white surface is interrupted by a towering ship. Its exterior is covered in frost. Its hull rises up from the ice at least 10 foot to the main deck. To the left is the aft deck, which sort of rises above the main deck, and to the front is the foredeck. On both the foredeck and the aft deck, you can see these frozen balusters, these huge crossbows, which are completely encased in ice. You start examining the floor, looking for signs of this creature. Do you want to give me that survival roll, Gann? Is anyone helping? So you can use the help maneuver if you wish to and get an advantage.
I think I would, because I'm going off my notes and stuff, you know?
Okay, that makes sense.
So what would I do? Nature?
Yep, nature or survival, both would work.
All right. Yeah, I'll do survival. So it's +4, and am I getting advantage because Xalfiz is helping me?
Yeah.
Okay, so first one I get is a
Oh,
nat 1.
Wow. Thank God
I
it helped.
I roll badly, but today is worse than usual.
Wow.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my god. Oh
You're,
my
you're
god.
actually the worst.
And then a
What
2.
happened?
2 plus
A
4.
1 and a
Oh, and he rolls a
2.
1 and then a 2.
Oh no.
So
I
you
was helping
find-
from a distance.
Yeah, you find these like really old tracks, and you're like, maybe these aren't old, maybe these are actually the ones they are. And these appear to be giant walrus tracks.
Walrus tracks.
Could
Like-
be. I mean, maybe it is. I mean, you didn't look like a walrus, but I mean, the tracks are here. Maybe it is a walrus.
Walruses aren't that big though, are they?
Well, giant walruses are.
No,
Alright.
Yeah, it's not so much the
Gone.
walrus. It's the idiot who's looking at 2 footprints and thinking the walrus is along its belly in the snow here.
Gonn's
It doesn't
like,
quite fit, but you've almost convinced yourself that it could be true.
I come back to the group and I'm like, could be a giant walrus.
Fascinating. Yeah. Yeah.
Talon's gonna look from where, like, you know, this ship is like jutting out of the water. Clearly, you need to climb, and he's like, "Do walruses even climb?"
I mean, they could.
I thought they just kind of, and he'll hold the wheels of his chair and just kind of like shunt along the ground. He's like, I thought they kind of just did that thing.
How far are we from this ship?
How far would you like to be? Sorry, I'm being attacked by a giant cat.
I was thinking like
Niall do a
100
check.
feet
He'll think
or
it's a
100
dog.
meters. Just like it's not too far away. We're just outside of it, right?
Okay.
We're outside.
I think yes, then rather than
The last time you saw this creature, it had gone around the back of the ship, but from where you're facing it, you're absolutely right, Talon. You don't see a way of getting on without some sort of climbing up the icy hull.
We don't see walruses either, do we?
No, there's no walruses in sight.
Damn it.
Maybe it's something that rides a walrus.
I like that idea. Makes my
I mean-
theory seem less crazy.
I mean, guys, we're not writing a novel here. We could just go find out. I mean, maybe it's just like one of those. Maybe it's just a big Goliath.
So I just
2 Goliaths
use
in an overcoat. Who knows?
I use like my second story work, and I just jump right on top of the thing. Basically, I climb right up.
No, it's okay. Give me that dexterity acrobatics.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
So he's just going straight
That's
up.
a
the
natural
boat?
20. So there
Oh
you go.
my god. You
you
share
don't
some of
even
that dice luck with me.
There you go.
Okay, so when you're on top of the ship, you see that. So to your left is the aft deck, and there is a door underneath it. It's probably the captain's cabin. The door itself is covered in a sheet of ice. It's hard as stone. Above that, there are steps going up to the aft deck where the wheel would be. To your right is the foredeck, and there's two doors. There's one door in the center of it, two staircases to either side of the door leading up to the foredeck, where the baluster are, the huge crossbows. In the center of the main deck, there's an enormous hole ripped through all the planking, looking down into the hold. And from there, you can hear a roar. A mighty creature is crashing its fists against something underneath, maybe a door, maybe a wall, trying to get in. And you can hear a very familiar sound, familiar voices, as you can hear kobolds trying to hold out against this creature. They're like, all right, no, get out, stay away from us, this is our boat, get away from us, as this creature is crashing its fists down. As you peek your face over the lip of this rip in the deck, you see an ice troll, one of 10 Town's most deadly creatures, a 10-foot tall creature of hair and bone and sinew and strength, crashing its fists against a closed door. Looking down to your right, so this ice troll's to the left, to your right, in the hold below, you see an enormous pile of treasure covered in frozen water.
No walruses then.
So I'm just on top of the no walrus then. No. So I'm just over the edge. I can chuck a rope down so they can come up the same way I did.
So the kobolds, so this ice troll is crashing its fists against the wall,
us,
which
not
is
the
out.
kobolds.
Sorry, yeah. Well, actually, on the other side of the deck, there is a ramp leading down, which is presumably what the ice troll stood on to get up.
Okay. So I'm looking down over at them. I'm like, guys, you can walk around the other side. It's a troll.
And these make me
You mean we can't walk around the other side?
So
Maybe it's a troll.
as you say that, you are trying to keep quiet, but do you give me a stealth roll?
Okay. That is 13 plus 5, so 18.
Okay, I'm going to give the troll a chance to do an opposed roll. It rolls a 1.
Thank God.
Hey, maybe it's just large creatures are bad at rolling in this game.
Yeah, so it absolutely does
In its
not
attempts
hear
to
you.
listen, it goes deaf. No.
So it seems that it's crashing its fist into this woodwork, and it's covering any sound that you or your companions are making. The other three of you, do you want to get up? Are you going to stay down? What do you want to do?
I would like to take a handful of snow and throw it up in the air and cast Pass Without a Trace on the three of us. And then I would like to go around the other side and just walk up.
There's 4 of us.
Well, Graham is up on the deck. I don't know if he's.
Yeah, I'm already stealthed.
And Lady
Successfully.
Penguin drives into Gunn's knee as he says that.
Actually, no. It's creatures within 30 feet of me. So I guess is Graham more than 30 feet away from me? How high?
Depends
up
where you
is the
cast
boat?
it. You could capture within the spell.
Okay, I'd like to capture him in it then if possible. But yeah, so I cast Pass Without a Trace on all of us, which gives us plus 10 to all of our stealth checks.
Okay, so
just dexterity stealth checks, so like any kind of movement, stuff like that.
because the troll rolled a 1, I'm going to say that you can use that roll to get yourselves onto the deck if that's where you wish to go. Are you saying you going up the ramp, or you can go up ropes, or you're happy to just?
Gann would like to go up the ramp because climbing up a rope on the side of the ship, he's probably going to be loud anyway. So
Nice, okay.
yeah, he'll take the safe way up.
Xalfiz, how are you going to make it onto the boat?
Himself and Lady Penguin will roll up the only way they can. Up to the ramp.
And Talon?
For Talon, because rolling that way is going to be a little bit slower, and then the ramp could be, it's going to be pretty steep if the boat's that tall. So he'll take the rope that Graham threw down, and on the arms of the armrests he has these heavy sort of metal rungs So he's just going to thread the rope through and then pulls up using his upper body. The chair kind of hangs below. I don't know if you've ever seen wall climbers and rock climbers who use wheelchairs. Yeah, they have the chair kind of hanging below, and then they pull themselves up using only their upper body.
Amazing. When you get onto the deck, you see that there is an array of things in front of you. Obviously, there's this huge hole open to the hold below. There is what looks like a lifeboat, what do they call them? Like a jolly boat? Like a boat, like a rowboat anyway, covered in frozen rime. There's a staircase actually to your left leading down into the hold itself. And from there, the sounds of the troll crashing its hands into the woodwork is even louder. And then there's the door into the captain's cabin to your left, and the door into the whatever cabins are beneath the foredeck to your right. For now, the troll doesn't seem to have noticed you, although, Gann, you do know that ice trolls have formidable senses, particularly their sense of smell.
That's not great. Do we want to rescue those kobolds?
I mean,
I think
we've had some pretty good experiences with kobolds and some bad ones. Very mixed bag kobolds.
Well, the first group were kind of under the control of that creature. I think we should help them. I don't think that we should leave anything to die.
That's fair. Anyone else have a vote?
You hear them from the hey, he's almost gotten through. I just saw his hand. He's got a massive fucking hand. It's huge.
I mean, if we get them to, if we save them, they'll probably leave us the gold, right?
Maybe.
Or if not, then we fight them too. I mean, so yeah, let's save them. They can help us fight the troll. It's better to, troll kills them all. We still fight the troll.
Okay, so I'm just sort of nodding around. Yeah. Take out my rapier and I just jump down the hole and try and stab the.
That
in
is
the
a
back.
bold move. That is a really bold move.
Especially as the guy you're relying on. What's the surprise attack? Maybe, I guess. Yeah.
Sneak attack, right?
Talon sees you do that, and he's just like, yeah.
Fair.
Bold move. Okay, let's roll initiative.
I don't know that it's bold though. Like I'm pretty good.
Okay, let's start off. Let's start with Xalfiz. Owen, what's your initiative?
My initiative will be this +2. 16.
Nice. Okay, Kuran,
I'm going to roll initiative.
please.
I thought I was jumping.
So you'll get the surprise attack.
You will get a surprise attack, yeah.
Okay,
Oh
so
my God.
that's 18 plus 8.
8, 26.
Wow. Okay.
Alert is so good.
Sarah?
Folks, 1 second. Ooh, okay, that's
Rose.
21.
Really good. Okay, and Gann, Niall?
You gotta wait for the
we
nat
go.
one, right? No?
Ooh, 12 plus 1, 13. Look at
13.
that.
Okay, I will roll for the troll, although obviously your surprise round, Graham, will surprise everybody, I think. So you will be going
Yes.
just alone on the surprise. The
A natural
rolls
one.
a 1.
Wow.
Get it out of the way. Get it out of the way. Get it out of the way.
Well, it's got two.
So it must roll.
It's got 2 natural runs in a row. Wow.
It really has. Okay, so Graham, you jump down and you are immediately stunned by the troll's frozen aura. It is the coldest thing you have ever experienced, and you literally feel your body ceasing to work, the water in your eyes freezing over, and your breath freezing in your lungs. It will damage you if you stay close to it, but you do get an attack, and it hasn't noticed you. You can roll with advantage.
Okay, so that's a 6 and a natural 20.
Wow. Okay, so natural 20.
This troll's going to die in one attack.
You do full damage, including your
Oh my
sneak attack,
God.
plus damage. So using your rapier,
Yes, I am. Yeah, so that's 1d8
plus 2d6. So it's 15. So you do 23 damage plus 1d8
hit,
plus 2.
plus the hit
2d6.
damage. You've left out.
Plus
Wait,
3.
wait. I'm confused.
Yeah.
now.
So roll for damage for your. So you roll your d8 for your rapier and your 2d6 for sneak attack.
Okay. And then the 2d6. So that's 4 and 6. So 10.
Okay, and then you get to add 3 for your dexterity. Is that right?
Yeah, I think. Where is it? Dexterity is.
No, just what's beside. So look at your damage beside your weapon. What's your damage beside your weapon save? Plus what?
Okay, 1 second. It says plus 3.
Plus
Yeah.
3,
Yeah, it was plus 3. So what did you get?
That would be 16 then, isn't it?
16 plus 23, which is your full damage.
Yes. Right.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
So 39 points of damage as you strike this troll, skewering it right through. There's a splash of black-blue blood, and the creature spins round, almost pulling the rapier from your grip. It looks at you, its mouth, huge mouth, dripping with saliva, and it stares at you with hunger and anger. And as you draw the rapier, you actually see it being pulled from its front. You've gone straight through it, and the wound begins to heal. And now we start the round off.
This is really not good, guys.
So, top of the round, Kuran, is actually still your Graham's round. You get another attack.
It is. Yeah, I get another attack.
But you won't get sneak attack this because there's no one flanking and there's no...
He's not sneaking.
I think I get to attack and then disengage, which is probably what I'm going to do. So let's go for... I've rolled a 4.
That's not going to do it.
That's not going to do it. So I'm going to disengage as my cunning action, my bonus action.
Okay, to your left is the staircase going back to the main deck. Behind you is the mound of treasure, and you do see another door beyond that.
Okay, I'm going to go up the stairs, though.
Okay. Nice.
So I dash.
Okay.
Cheerio! I just run up the stairs real quick.
And it starts to charge up after you. Talon, you're next up.
Oh boy. Okay. This is concerning because Talon was at the top of the stairs and he's. Okay. He moves back just like a little bit, like 5 foot, so that Graham has enough room to get round on the stairs, obviously. And Talon is going to. He has his crossbow affixed onto like one part of his onto the armrest of his chair. And he reaches down into a compartment pouch on the side of his chair, pulls out a couple of bolts, and I have in my equipment like fabric and oil and a tinderbox. Can I light a bolt?
I think so, yes. I think so. Let's do it.
Okay, he'll do that, put it in, and fire, I guess. Oh, please be a good roll.
Okay, give me the roll.
Whoa.
16, and that is plus.
Yeah, 16 is on. Yeah, absolutely. You've struck it, and the flaming bolt seems to ignite the troll's fur, so you can do an extra D4. Oh, excuse me, an extra D4 points of damage.
Okay, so D8. Is it a D8 for a crossbow? It is, isn't it?
Unless it's a normal crossbow, yeah.
D8, yeah.
Or unless it's a heavy crossbow, sorry, yeah, D8 for me.
And then
Oh no.
an extra 2 fire damage.
Okay, what's the total damage?
That is 3 altogether.
Yeah, add your dex modifier too.
Oh, add my dex, so that's 7. There we go. It's not as bad.
Okay, that's pretty good. So the troll is now furious with the damage it's taken. Next up, we have Xalfiz.
Brain.
So Xalfiz is gonna like hop off Lady Penguin, take out his multi-tool, and again get the Allen key out, turn it just behind kind of Lady Penguin's ear, and open up the beak so she becomes my Eldritch Cannon.
Nice.
And this time I'm going to create the Flamethrower Cannon.
Oh, I love it. Okay. So how close are you to? Or how close is, Lady Pen to the troll, and how close are you?
So what I'm going to do is move up to the top of the stairs with Lady Penguin, hop off, open up the side of her head and turn her into the cannon, and that's my action gone.
Okay.
So we're at the top of the stairs, basically waiting to take her next move.
Okay. So does she get to fire this round? You have to wait till next round.
No, next round my action is to create her first.
Okay, gone.
Is this creature humanoid?
Yes, it's a large humanoid. Hang on, let me just check. No, large giant.
Damn it, so it's not humanoid.
Is there a small giant?
Okay, so Gann.
God's quite a small giant.
I suppose, yeah, just for points, yeah.
Yeah,
Touche,
Gann,
and I'll get back in my box.
Gann seeing this happening, he wants to. Hold on, actually, can I? It's a self-spawn, never mind. He'll shape shift. He'll use beast shape, and I will turn into an ice spider, and which is just a giant spider basically. And what he's going to do is he's going to crawl down over the deck onto the lower, like upside down on the roof of the part where the giant, where the troll is, and he's going to use the ice spider's web attack to try to restrain the giant.
I might
Okay,
burn
nice.
land. This is gross.
So what happens? What's the troll need to do?
I just need to do. I need to hit it with an attack +5, and then at the start of the next turn, the troll gets to make a DC 12 strength check.
Okay.
So that's
Give us that attack
+5 to hit. Roll to hit. I get a 22.
22 will do
5.
it. Yes. So what does it look like? Is this?
Well, yeah. The spider basically he just like positions, aims, and just fires like a just clump of web at this giant around its feet, mostly to restrain it, so that it can't move.
Okay. And does it? And when it has to escape, does it need to use an action to escape?
A creature takes 1. Oh, they also take 1 cold damage, but I don't think that's really going to affect it too much. As an action, the restrained creature can make a DC 12 strength check. So yeah, it would be an action, or they can also attack the web and destroy it. It's got an AC of 10 and 5 HP.
Okay, it's going to use an attack. It doesn't want to use its action to escape. Is anyone within 10 feet of it?
Alan and possibly, well, no, Graham moved away, didn't you?
Yeah, Graham is far away. Yes.
Talon is still there.
Okay, so if anyone is within 10 feet of it, they take 10 points of cold damage from its crippling aura.
Whoa.
And the troll is going to use its first attack on the web. Let's see how this goes. So it rolls.
Oh my god! You know what?
Natural 20.
I'm okay with the nat 20 being wasted on a web.
Yeah, a lot of damage to the web with its claw attack. I'm not going to give you the exact thing, but a lot of damage used on the web. And it launches forward, and I think probably who's the nearest person to it?
Oh no.
Oh, Sarah, no.
It'd either be Sarah or Gann. Talon or Gann. Gann, are you at the top of the stairs?
No, I'm on the underside of the deck. Upside down.
Oh, so you've gone down.
I've crawled like so. Imagine this.
He's
is
on
deck,
the
this is
roof.
upper,
Oh,
and
you're
then-
on the roof. Oh, yeah, that absolutely will. Sorry, Talon, it's going to be you with its attack. So it gets a 13 plus 7 with its bite attack.
Yeah, that
20
hits.
to hit. Okay, so it does 7 points of piercing damage plus 9 points of cold damage. That is 16 damage.
Oh.
Yeah, I am at 5 HP. Whoops.
Oh.
Just ow.
And it is the top of the next round.
Joe doesn't play nice with guests.
This is straight from the book. This isn't even me.
I
Got Kuran, Graham.
Yeah. So no one's wait. If does that
Actually,
mean Talon is
I
now
actually
next to him?
think this would be a perfect place for us to take a 10-minute break. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, sure thing.
After
Sure.
Talon gets mauled by a giant.
I need to figure out the plan.
Okay. So while we take a 10-minute comfort break, we will be back in 10 minutes' time to face off against this enormous monster. We are going to be doing giveaways tonight. So I don't know if you can see this on my camera, but we are giving away a WizKids Icons of the Realms Icewind Dale miniature box set. There are 4 miniatures in here. They are absolutely amazing. Definitely worth entering for. And we are also giving a D&D Beyond code to unlock Rime and the Frost Maiden. So if you haven't already, Owen, how do we enter this competition?
To enter the competition, you type in I love DIR and that'll get you a free entry, and then you will be randomly rolling at the end for the 2 of them. Type it in once, it'll put you in for 2 giveaways. And just a big shout out, guys, to anyone who has gifted subs. If you are a sub, you have 2 entries in for typing in I love DIR. Regular followers get 1 entry into the giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you again. Thank you all our subs. We are a brand new channel. You are keeping us going. So if you haven't given us a follow already, please do shoot us that. And subbing us is one of the main ways to keep us going and keep us producing. So if you like what you do, please do consider it. And thank you very much. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Will we still be heard?
Welcome back to Rime with the Frost Maiden. You are rejoining us as our players have boarded a broken pirate ship covered in the frosty rime. Below them in the hold is a terrible ice troll, a 10-foot-high creature of anger and malice, which is clambered up the frozen stairs towards the main deck, where it has swiped across Talon, sending her flying. And we are starting off at the top of the new round with Graham. Graham, what do you do?
Pick out my short bow from the top deck, and I'm like, I'm not going down there again. This thing was freezing. The air freezing my lungs. It was just, yeah. Like there's little icicles under my eyes from where the moisture was, and I just draw my bow and fire at it.
Before you do, are you on the main deck or are you climbing up to the aft deck, which is sort of a staircase going up, just the sort of risen bit at the back of the boat where the wheel is? Like you could be up there.
No, I'm just I'm literally at the mouth of the
main deck. Okay.
The main deck, yeah. So 17.
17 will do it. You strike it. And it is within combat range of Talon, so you do get your sneak attack damage.
Oh, nice. So sneak attack damage is 1d6, but first I will roll my
2d6 actually.
Is it 2d6? Yeah. So I've got short bow is 1d6 plus 3.
Yeah, so 3d6 plus 3 total.
3d6 plus 3. Here we go.
Oof.
11 damage.
Okay. It strikes into the side of the head, tearing off its ear in a splatter of black blood. Are you staying where you are, close in combat, or are you backing off?
I think I'll back off a little bit. Just
okay.
Just moving away, because you're saying it in a way that makes me go, are you sure you want to be there?
No, I was just putting it out there. Okay.
You got me questioning everything, Joe.
Okay, next round. Talon, after taking the terrible strikes from the troll's mighty blows and its frozen aura, what do you wish to do?
Yeah, gone. I ain't staying around for that. So, 1 second. I can bonus action disengage, right?
Yeah, because you're a rogue, you've got the cunning action, so that's
yeah. I'll bonus action disengage, and I'm gonna go and head for one of those ballistas.
Okay, so you'll need to either go up the aft deck stairs or the foredeck stairs.
Which is closest to me right now?
The aft deck, which is the back of the boat, is like right above the troll. Like you'd have to sort of disengage under his arms. I mean, you've already done it. You've disengaged up the staircase to where the ballistas are looking out over the side of the boat.
Yeah, I'll do that. Using the beacon stones to get up onto the aft deck.
So what does it look like on the combat wheelchair when it goes up the staircase?
Ah, right. Okay. So he taps the beacon stone twice, just to alert it that he's at the stairs. It then hovers just like about 2 feet off the ground. And then he taps it once again for it to start ascending stairs. And then it lowers down at the top of the stairs. And then, moves the chair around into a position to, grab the ballista and begin aiming it.
So the ballista does have full movement. It's on one of this kind of pole that sort of allows it to pivot round any direction. However, it is completely frozen in ice. So I am going to need you to make an athletics roll to see if you can break
not good for
through
a
the
rogue.
icy
Not
sheet.
good for a rogue.
Yep, terrible for a rogue.
Unless
rogue
you've got
player.
another way of breaking through the ice.
Light a hand.
13.
13 will not do it. You definitely loosened it, and it's definitely almost free, but it's not ready to be used this round. Unless there's anything else you want to do, Sarah, we're going to jump down to Owen.
No, because I've already used my bonus action. So, wait.
Okay. So Xalfiz and Lady Penguin are top of the stairs, kind of just. I imagine this stairs down to the lower deck is it like a door? Because it's going under what would have been originally a deck, yeah, for the stroll.
It's the way it's done. It's almost like a trapdoor so that's how it's drawn. So it's the staircase comes up onto the deck.
And so the troll is how far
halfway
from?
it's probably
It's on the way.
standing halfway up the stairs, but because it's got an enormous reach, it can reach you from here.
Okay, cool. So look, he's standing beside Lady Penguin, like, look, Lady Penguin, you wrong voice again, goddamn.
Xalfiz!
Little voice break.
Lady Penguin, I can't stand near this thing. It's too dangerous. You've got to protect all of us. Look, this is really important. I look after you. It'll be fine, but you're gonna have to do this on your own.
And she has little mechanical eyebrows, so they go into a little kind of determined downward arch, and potters around the corner. Stops just in front of the troll. And there's this little kind of bolt comes out to kind of lock her in place, just kind of to give her a bit more sure footing. And she's going to fire her flamethrower at the troll.
He has engaged instant kill mode.
Basically,
Its eyes were yellow and now they're flicked down and are red.
Yeah, basically.
It's like in the Iron Giant when he gets out.
No. Her eyes were light, and just before flames come out of her mouth, like a pilot light, they light up kind of a bluey gas color.
So this tiny egg-shaped penguin stands before this enormous frozen troll, its shadow descending towards her. This pilot light clicks on. You hear this.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it has to be small or tiny, so it is smaller than me. She's about 1.5 feet tall. She's so small. It's a DC 14 save, deck save.
Okay, the troll gets -1 on a deck save, so you've chosen a good one.
Oh.
It gets a 8.
Oh, yes. So it's 2d8 damage, fire damage.
Wow, okay.
Let me do this. On my 2d8, I rolled a 6 damage.
Okay, it is engulfed in flames. Now the frozen aura seems to extinguish any fire and it already begins to die back. But you can see where the skin is blackened, the healing is not taking place. Anywhere the fire hasn't touched, any damage you've done to it is already healed. But where you've blackened almost its entire body with this sheet of flame, it is not able to regenerate. And how much damage do you say?
6 damage.
6 damage, okay. Next in round,
hold up. Xalfiz is very much running up towards the aft deck and close to the ballista. He is getting out of dodge. He gave her the motivational speech so he can get safe. Mega safe.
Okay, so you've scampered up the stairs behind the troll. Nice. Okay, so next in round we have Niall. Gone.
Yes. So seeing that the web was just quite easily escaped from, Gann just crawls to where he's above the troll and just drops down on its back and just bites it.
So you're gonna have. So are you on? I thought you were underneath the main deck. So the troll is now.
Is it?
I suppose
up on
you
the
probably.
main deck?
It's still halfway up the stairs, so you probably could do that.
Yeah.
Get behind it and then drop onto it. Yeah, absolutely, because it's still sort of half on the stairs, half above the deck. 'Cause it's so tall.
Yeah, so that is a +5 to hit.
Graham is displeased by Gonn's new form. You have many eyes and many legs.
Don't worry, I rolled a natural one. It's all cool.
Okay, the troll elbows you fully in the face and you find yourself falling backwards, tumbling head over heel down the stairs, or would it be head over abdomen down the stairs?
Yeah, whatever. Parts of
And
spider
you
is made
see
of.
one of the wall at the back of the hold below has been broken and torn where the troll's fists have been pounding against it, and you see these little white draconic forms peeking out going, "All right there, thanks for helping us out, mate, thank you." As the crowboards are kind of looking at you through the gaps. And it is next in round, the troll.
Oh no.
Graham, where were you? I missed that.
Oh, I left. I was far away.
He's back at the shack that we set up.
So you're on the main deck, right?
Yes, I am on the main deck.
So I hate to say this, but the most obvious target is Lady Pen.
Oh,
And its fist
not the
is
spider?
going
She's
to
got this.
descend
She's got
down straight towards it. So on its first attack, it swipes at it. Swipes at her, sorry. 14 plus 7, 21 to hit.
Oh, +7? I was like, she can tank this. She's got 18 AC. No, she can't. She can't take it.
Okay, that is 11 points of bludgeoning damage. Oh, sorry, slashing damage, and 9 points of cold damage.
Okay. So, say again, 11 and 9.
Yeah, so 20 points total.
Cool. So Lady Penguin is basically knocked off the stairs, and there's nothing left but the bolt of securing her there, and she is destroyed. She has 20 hit points.
Shower of nuts and bolts and fire. And the troll looks at you, Graham. It charges forwards, its feet pounding across the deck. The deck itself seems to vibrate, coming apart, and leaps down towards you with a mighty bite. That does a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
That is a 7 points of piercing damage plus 9 points of cold damage. That is 16 points of damage total.
Okay, so my temp points are gone. And,
Okay, we
yeah,
are
I'm
top of
doing
the
all right.
round. Graham, the troll is towering above you. To your
He's just-
right is the huge hole in the deck. Behind you is the door leading underneath the foredeck, and to your left and right are the 2 staircases leading up to the foredeck.
Well, I feel like we're all going to be in trouble unless someone does something. So I just take the rapier and stab him in the area that he's been burnt. I know it's not going to be a sneak attack because no one else is nearby.
No.
But yeah, I'm sort of standing my ground on this one.
Okay, give me that attack.
This might be the end for Graham.
Oh, nice.
24.
Brilliant. Okay, that's a hit.
So that's 2d8. No, sorry, 1d8. That's it.
1d8 plus your dex, which is 3. So 1d8
Yeah.
plus 3.
There we go. So 6. Stabbed him for 6.
Okay. I mean, you've now done 71 points of damage to it, although some of that has been healed. We are now to Sarah, Talon.
Okay, Talon is going to use, because obviously he's putting the bolt on this big ballista. As soon as it's on, he is again attaching, using rags and the oil to douse it again, and his tinderbox. To do that, he has used his reaction to press the button on the seatbelts so that they open, and he's dragged himself up using his upper body. Yeah, he lights it, and he's going to then, sort of quickly shove himself back in his chair to aim it, and to fire.
Okay, so the ballista is a mighty weapon. You fire it, and I need you to use your normal attacks. This would be dexterity plus your proficiency bonus, as this flaming bolt the size of a spear flies through the air towards the troll.
17.
17 does it.
Yes.
It crashes into the troll's back, doing a mighty 8d6 points of damage.
Oh my god, okay. 8d6.
That's 66 for the ballista and 2d6 for the fire.
Oh my god, okay. So,
It's a lot of
oh wait,
damage.
1
That
second.
is a lot of damage.
I messed it up. I need 46. 1 second. So how many d6 was it again?
8d6 total.
All right, so I'll do 7 because I just rolled 1 by accident. And 27.
27 points of damage. That's incredible. Okay. 98. Okay. And the
and-
troll. Gone.
As he fires it and it hits it, you hear him distinctly shout, "This is for Lady Penguin, asshole!"
You also get to make your 2d6 sneak attack because the
Hell
troll is
yeah.
in damage within combat with Graham.
Okay, so
Oh my! Just to add insult to injury. Surprise, motherfucker!
5. Yeah, 5.
Nice. Okay. 103 damage done, although some of that heals. So the spear goes straight through it, and it sticks out its back, but the front of the spear hammers into the deck in front of it, leaving it there sort of pierced like a sausage at Christmas, and it begins to try and pull against it while still swiping at Graham. Next up is Owen.
From up on the aft, you just see Talon go, "Woo!"
Sausage at Christmas, Joe.
It's so British. It's so British. It's phenomenal. I did it.
Yeah, I didn't add pineapple. I should have done.
Oh god. So with that, Xalfiz is going to see like that there's a lot of fighting happening and a lot of people missing and not quite hitting things, so he's going to aim at the troll and cast Fairy Fire to try and make sure every shot hits and does as much damage as possible.
Okay, obviously you're not actually a magic user. You use technology to cast spells. What does this look like in terms of your kind of...
So, I'm glad you asked, because I have an Artificer Infusion, which gives me Arcane Focus, effectively, so I get +1 to my magic spells. And it's basically the multi-tool that I keep using to create and tinker with is my, effectively, wand. So it's a focus of my spells.
Okay, so it actually is a spell, this one, rather than sort of an arcane fire or a mechanical fire kind of thing.
Yes,
and
correct.
does the troll need to... Excuse me. Does the troll need to make a saving throw?
It's a dexterity save 14, but question. Does my arcane focus, it's a +1 to magic spells. Does that mean it makes that 15?
We'll do that for today, and then I'll look up the rules in the future. If chat knows, please let us know.
I was trying to look up during the week and I meant to ask you, but...
The troll rolls a 20.
No.
Guys, I don't know what we need to do here.
It's freezing cold armor seems to completely dull the fire, even the magical one. And next in round is Gone. From where you're looking at the bottom of the stairs, you can't see anyone, but you can hear the screams and shouts from above.
Just before you jump off me, Joe.
Sorry, yeah?
Am I able to run over to the ballista?
Yeah, absolutely.
And infuse it with repeating shot?
Tell me how that would look.
Oh.
So it's what's normally on my crossbow. So my crossbow loses its repeating shot, but basically, I take out my multi-tool and just basically try and knock up from bits of wood and metal on the ship, cobble together a ballista bolt that's infused with magic. So when it fires, it just appears back in the ballista.
So you don't need to spend a round firing it. So normally, I would say that you've used your action already. So unless it's not an action.
To infuse an item, it says no action. Where the rules are hazy, it does say simple or martial. Is this a martial weapon?
It will count for the rule of cool. We'll say this absolutely works.
There we go.
Okay.
I've actually read all the rules as well, so it does say literally no action to do an infusion.
Perfect. Okay,
I'm just so happy that you got that nat 20 out of it before it strikes me.
Before it strikes you, that would have been so much damage. Okay. He's like rolled only like 1s and 20s, this troll. It's crazy. He's rolled 2 20s and 2 1s. Okay, Gone. Bottom of the stairs.
Gann is going to drop the spider shape, look back towards the kobolds, and just be like, "We need your help. We just saved you, and this thing is going to kill my friends. Help us!" And he's going to run up the stairs. While he's running up the stairs, he's taking his club.
You've got our moral support, buddy. We're right there with you. Go, go, go!
Those kobolds.
Kobolds.
Assuming we survive, those kobolds might die.
I'm gonna skin these kobolds.
Yeah. So he's going to run up the stairs and like get next. Well, I guess within 10 feet. I think it's 10 feet for the spell anyway. 15 feet. So yeah, I'll go like 10 feet away from the troll so that because I saw Talon get hurt by the cold aura of it.
Yeah.
And he's going to crash his club into his shield and cast a Thunder Wave at a 2nd level.
Nice. Okay. Is it con save?
It is I believe it's Dex, but let me just confirm that. No, Constitution saving throw.
Well, it rolled a 4, so it has a con of +6. That's only a 10.
It's a 14 DC it needs to do. So
Okay, so it fails.
Fails. Okay, so it gets pushed 10 feet forward. Now, is it next to a wall? Because I wanted to kind of like try to like do that and just smash it through the wall of the I guess whatever side. It's probably going towards the captain's cabin, is it?
So the captain's cabin's behind you at the after. You've attacked it at the foredeck. So yeah, your explosion blasts it over over Graham's head into the door of the fore cabin, blasting it apart. Frozen wood goes in all directions and it lies flat, its body torn asunder from where it was jagged into the ballista bolt that was through it, and there's this sort of spray of black frozen blood, but it is still alive. What's the damage?
3d8.
Okay,
because I did at 2nd level, so it takes 17 damage.
Nice.
That is a good roll for once.
Okay, the troll is barely standing, but it crawls itself. It from its front, it pushes itself up and stares at you with angry, bleeding eyes and launches itself forward. It's going to take a swipe at Graham and a bite at Gann with its enormous range. So, Graham, you've been...
Oh, yes! Oh, I thought that was going to be a 19. For a second.
We're all
That's
just watching it like...
It gets +7, so that's still a 16 to hit.
Oh, crap, that hits.
Oh boy.
Is it still impaled?
No, it's been blown off
Okay.
it.
My thunder wave.
Okay.
Okay, so that does a total of 20 points of damage. That is 11 slashing and 9 cold.
Wow, do you know what that does? That puts me on 1 HP.
Wow.
Gone. It then
Slightly injured, everyone.
tries to bite you with a 6 + 7, a 13.
13 misses, so I put my shield up and it just maybe its teeth just bite down around the top and the bottom of it.
So, Graham, it stands above you, a towering figure, and it's your round.
Right. Am I the only one in melee range again?
You are. No, there's 2 of you. You get your sneak attack.
My sneak attack. Okay, so I will attack with the rapier. Again, attacking for charred areas that have been burnt. I guess I will try and hit. So, wait 1 second. That's +5. Whoops. Yeah, so I get 10. I rolled a 10.
10 is not going to do it. Your rapier you push it forward with unerring aim, but you have erred, and it just bends. The entire sword just sort of goes into this sort of hoop. You go forward, and it springs back against its icy form.
Take
do you
that.
wish to do any movement?
I'm going to disengage and use my my second story work to just climb up the actual mast to be all the way at the top. I got 1 HP. I'm playing around.
Like, it does swipe at you, but you easily dodge it. Talon, it's your round, and the ballista has been equipped with a magical repeating shot, so it does not. Am I right in saying it doesn't need to be reloaded?
Well, we can. Chat have answered the question. I had 2 items infused from the start of the day, and I can only infuse 2 items, so I guess I can't do it.
Again, I think chat will go with that in the future, but for this rule of cool, I've already said it could happen, so it has happened.
Cool. There we go. I've done my part. Yes, it doesn't need to be reloaded. A bolt appears back in there after it's fired.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay. Again, then I will fire the ballista.
Okay.
So that's a D20.
Oh no. Oh, that was Graham's roll that I just saw.
Oh, you know. Oh no.
There
Oh
we
yes.
go.
So that's
There we
plus
go.
7. That's a 22.
That is a hit, and
Do it.
considering you get your sneak attack, that is 10d6 damage.
Okay. Oh my god, what does he keep doing? So 10d6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good lord, this will be some damage.
Ooh.
I know how this looks on stream.
Oh.
29.
That is incredible.
Just
Well,
the numbers, right?
so it only had 9 hit points of damage left, and you've done 29.
I go for its head. I want to impale it by its head into the deck.
So its head just explodes in a visceral, messy explosion of blood and gore. But the momentum of this bolt carries it back underneath the foredeck, pinning it by whatever remains of its skull to the floor, and it stops moving.
Yeah, there is just Talon, like, you can look up from the ballista. He's just there in his shell looking shocked that he just did that.
Everywhere that the troll has been burned, particularly from the flaming bolts, it remains lifeless and inert. However, areas where the flames did not touch, such as its fingers, one of its legs, are still twitching and clawing towards you.
Oh no.
This isn't going to terminate us, is it? Liquids back into a
Are
troll.
we still in initiative?
No, we're out of
I
initiative.
cast bonfire on its corpse.
Oh, we're still. No,
There we go.
Joe, we're still in initiative now for these. Now for the kobolds.
So you just said Graham's on the very top of the mast, the broken bit of mast. I'm like, is it dead? Did you get it?
Graham, while you're up there, you notice a very strange thing, or maybe not strange, more interesting. The top of the mast, you see the pirate colours, and you recognise them. This is a pirate ship working out of Luskin, and it is famous. It had a famous captain who was an incredibly famous and capable rogue. And he was known for various things, not just for gathering immense amounts of treasure, but also, well, let's see, can you give me a history roll? Let's see if you do know anything about this captain.
I mean, I could try. We'll give it a history roll.
If it's who I think it is.
Let's try.
That is a 18.
An 18.
I know exactly who
So,
that is.
this is Captain Blue Moon, and not only has he gathered an enormous amount of treasure and magic items, but he had one magic item which is particular interest for you. His earring enabled him to escape from all sorts of incredible situations. It does not register as magic. It cannot be detected by any detect magic spell. But if the wearer needs it to, it can turn into a set of thieves' tools and also enable them to walk on walls and ceilings like a spider. If his person or corpse is somewhere on this deck, it would be a very, very valuable magic item to a person such as yourself.
Wow. I think I know whose ship this was. And I proceed to tell everybody from the top of the mast, shouting down at them, the history of this ship.
Well, I mean, do you know any tales of Captain Blue Moon?
Well, some say that he was captured, escaped, then was recaptured, then escaped again multiple times, and then was recaptured, and then escaped, and then disappeared. That's all we know.
He was really as bad after he escaped and not getting caught.
Yeah, exactly. He's good at escaping, not so much at not being captured. This is the...
Look, I don't know if earrings are your kind of thing, whereas earrings look fantastic on a gnome.
Well,
can we go address the kobolds in the basement? Or not the basement?
You can
I
do
guess
it.
the
You're out
hall.
of combat, so what do you want to do? So, I mean, we can do it. You can split up. You can stay together. So, if that's what, so it sounds like Gon's going down to the kobolds in the hold.
Xalfiz is going to be a team player and walk around and just like patting people on the back, saying, "Look,
Oh yeah,
It's going to be
sorry, no,
okay,
I-
and cure wounds on people."
Totally, yeah.
Oh, yes,
Gann
please.
would also do that.
Yeah. Talon gets down from the aft deck.
I'm assuming I've received some of this stuff. How much HP do I get?
So
One.
Xalfiz, maybe,
Of
So
one.
I-
Let's talk numbers.
maybe Xalfiz does Talon and I'll heal Rime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one
yeah.
1d8 plus 4 for me.
Talon, yeah, we'll get down from the aft deck. With the kind of practice that he's done this before, because the rail is icy, is like he'll jump and just grind down on his chair. Because why
Nice.
not? Be extra.
Xalfiz, what are you doing about Lady Pen?
I am gathering up a few cogs and putting in my bag of holding and
Aw.
stuff, and
It's not the first time. This is Lady Penguin 2.0. There will be Lady Penguin 3.0. Every time Joe does this, I'm going to add some more bullshit features.
So Kuran, I used Cure Wounds at 2nd level, so I got to do
Yeah.
2d8 plus 4, and I rolled 6. Total. That's 1 plus 1 plus 4.
Oh God. Okay.
whereas I rolled 10 for Talon in the cure
Oh.
wounds
Nice.
Okay. So I've got.
because I'm a team player.
I now have 7 HP. Thank
I
you.
now have 15.
Thank you, Gon. I appreciate it.
You should.
I'm gonna go look for this this earring. You guys handle the kobolds. Yes. So I started trying to search around, looking towards the treasure or the lower decks.
So the captain's cabin, if that's where you want to, will probably be the
Yes.
one underneath the aft deck. So the staircase that leads down, there's a kind of door in the wall just beyond it.
Yeah.
On the main deck, this is you're not going down. But the door itself is covered with ice. a really thick, like 2-inch thick layer of ice.
So try and smash it, I guess, with the hilt of my weapon.
Okay, so you're kind of like hammering against ice.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever tried to smash ice. It's not brittle like glass, it's hard like concrete, and every kind of crack either leaves no mark or a very kind of little indentation in it.
Yeah.
If you want to give me, I wish I was playing Call of Cthulhu because I could say an idea roll, but if you want to give me a...
My plan was to use Lady
intelligence roll.
Penguin here.
I was going to do a investigation roll, right? Just to investigate the area.
No, just give me a straight up intelligence roll.
Okay.
All of us?
No, just Graham.
Okay.
Okay. So
Oh, it's like, oh, my time.
no.
I
That's
can
20.
help.
That's a dirty
Okay.
20.
Ooh,
So
nice.
you know that the captain's cabin will have probably only one door entrance, but there may be windows round the back looking out across the commotion. So if you could find a way of dangling down from the top of the aft deck, you might be able to find another way in, unless you want to try and crush your way through the...
No. I'll go collect my rope from the upper deck area, and I'll bring it down. I think I found a way to get in. I'm letting everyone know what I'm doing while I'm just dangling the rope over, and I'm trying to get in through the other side.
Okay, so it's going to take some time to kind of gather your rope and to you know, belay your way down and get inside. What's everyone else doing while Graham's doing this?
Gann wants to go down to the kobolds.
Okay.
Also down to the
Xalfiz
kobolds.
and Talon, are you joining?
What is there any part of the ship that hasn't been explored then? Because it's kind of torn apart. Like, where else is there to go?
Loads of the ship hasn't been explored. There's under the foredeck. There's a number of other cabins in the hold
I'll
below.
pack around
There's
those. I'll
the
pack around those
huge.
cabins.
Well, in the hold below, there's this huge pile of treasure,
Yeah.
and then there's a door beyond that.
So Xalfiz had a great idea to melt the treasure out with Lady Penguin, but that's gone. So I guess I'll check all the cabins. Just gotta look for any evidence of what happened to the ship, why it's here, what the treasure is, kind of you know.
So you're staying on the main deck, but going to the front of the ship and exploring the cabins beyond there, sort of clambering over the troll's body. Okay.
Yes, please.
And Talon?
Talon will go with Graham, just because like he's still pretty beat up and he doesn't want to go up and downstairs. He's not feeling it.
Oh, fair enough.
I can't believe I've said there's an enormous pile of treasure, and I was like, no, I'm going to go and explore the cabin.
You said it's frozen rock solid.
It's frozen at the minute. It's not
That's
like the
fair, yeah.
kobolds can take it. It's fine.
I have an oil rag on a stick. It's not going to get oil rag on a stick. That's not going to happen.
So let's play out the kobold. So Gann, you descend the stairs into the frigid darkness. You don't have dark vision, do you? So it's actually pretty dark down there.
Well, I cast bonfire. There we go. I can see.
All right there, you big blue giant guy. Thanks for helping us out there. We had until we didn't really know what to do, but you helped us out a lot. We appreciate it.
What are you doing here?
Oh, we live here.
You live here, in a boat.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere.
Well, I mean, we kind of, look after the treasure and stuff and keep it nice and clean, although that troll's messed that up, hasn't it?
We look after the treasure.
Yeah.
What?
Well, we make sure no one takes it, Lots of people like treasure. I don't know if you know that, but it's quite nice. And we make sure no one takes it. We clean up a bit. We, we do a bit of this and that, really.
What? Who are you looking after the treasure for?
Our patron.
Who is?
What do you mean?
Who is your patron?
Well, that would be telling, wouldn't it? Why don't you let us out and maybe we'll you see that the door has been completely buckled in. Why don't you let us out and maybe we'll tell you all about it. You might want to join up, actually. It's a pretty sweet gig. We sit here, we look after the treasure, we tidy up the boat. Occasionally we catch a walrus or something and bring it here for our patron to munch upon. And then it's all good.
No. Can I do a nature roll? Or a history roll? Because I'm thinking pile of treasure and kobolds. That's not good. I'll do a nature roll, or maybe a... Is there any other one? I guess nature probably fits the best. What I'm kind of thinking now is maybe this is a dragon's hoard of treasure. I got a 14.
A 14. So from sort of thinking about it, could be a dragon. That would make sense. You'd have to do some investigation if you want to kind of look around and see any looking for dragon signs.
Yeah, would a survival roll work for that? Just to see our nature, I guess, would probably work.
It would be
again.
an investigation roll.
Okay, investigation. Oh wow, I'm not
But
good at that.
let's cut away to where Talon and Graham are exploring the captain's cabin. So both of you are accomplished rogues. I'm not going to ask for any rolls, but do you want to describe how you swing down and break in through the aft windows? Like there's this kind of like beautiful stained glass window set up across the entire back of the boat.
Mm-hmm. So I'd imagine the rope's like tied to something on the main deck, and we're both hanging over on the edge going, I think it's on this side. And we're swinging back and forth, trying to gain enough momentum to crash through a window or a little opening.
Yeah, because like it would have wouldn't it, like a little kind of like, I can't remember the name of it now, but like a fence kind of thing all along the outside of the boat. What's it called?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember words today. Yeah, he'll tie rope to one end, put it through the rungs of his chair, because he knows that like his chair is definitely gonna smash through a window if he drives at it. And yeah, like he's also got like no appreciation for the fact that this is a beautifully crafted stained glass window. He just like hoists himself over and just throws himself at it.
So again, I'm not going to ask for any rolls as you crash through the stained glass window and land safely in the aft castle. It is taken up by one enormous spacious cabin. Frost covers every surface and furnishing. A human corpse is slumped against the portside wall, its left arm draped across part of a heavy chest that's sort of tucked in an alcove under a staircase. The skeleton wears a jacket and a wide-brimmed hat, which hides most of its skull. Under its right arm is a book. The floor is strewn with empty wine bottles. And Graham, you do notice where its kind of like leathery ear still kind of is affixed to the frozen skull. There is a very plain looking earring.
Well,
Alan just looks at Graham and he just says, I want the hat.
I go over, grab the hat, hand it over to Talon. At the same time, I pick up this earring, and I'm like, I kind of rub it off a little bit because obviously it's got a bit of dead person on it. So
Quite a lot of dead person. I mean, the whole ear comes away. Actually,
I mean, it's still attached to the ear. I'm like, there's a little bit on the, and I start dangling it. So I pierce it out, and I suppose I try it on just to see if the rumors are true. Will I be able to, walk up walls?
Is your ear pierced, or are you just like, just pushing it through?
Just gonna stab it through. Do I take one damage?
I mean, there's probably like a, a
You
piece of
take
ice
6 damage and you die.
You fell off my earring trap.
Yeah.
Most devious.
Yeah.
It does. It pierces through, and there would be a spray of blood, but it's actually so cold you barely feel it, and you don't feel any different. That is until you put your foot on the wall, and your whole perception changes, and you are suddenly the wall is now, or the floor is now the wall, and you're quite comfortably walking at right angles to Talon.
Talon's like, what?
Talon, you're like upside down on the ceiling. Talon looks over and he's like, nah, my hat's cooler.
Well, Talon, this hat is actually a hat of disguise.
Oh, hell yeah.
It might actually be cooler.
You look down from the ceiling and just Talon's a different person now.
Does Talon appear as the old captain?
It's like, arr, get off my earring. Be mine.
Off my earring.
Get off my earring.
Oh man.
So yeah, I'm like, what? Talon? Is that you?
Yeah, he doesn't. I think he probably wouldn't even realize it's a hat of disguise. So he's just like, yeah, obviously. The cool hat.
Yarr, obviously.
Of course it is.
The cool hat gives it away.
Wow. Anyway, so I'm gonna walk back around to normal perception, and check on the book that was in his arms. He was grasping at a book, right?
Yeah, so it appears to be the captain's journal. Would you want to start at the beginning, in the middle, or do you want to go to the last entry?
The last entry, I think.
So before we find out what that last entry is, we're going to move the camera over to... We're actually going to move it back to Gann, because Xalfiz, just as you're entering, I want to give Gann an opportunity to explore the treasure. We will get to you eventually, I haven't forgotten about you.
No rush.
So Gann, you're kind of like... can you give me that investigation roll as you're kind of searching the hold for any dragon sign?
Yeah. You get a 3? That's really good, right?
So, like, there's this
Not
big
even fun
hole
anymore.
in the roof of the hold. Like, I mean, it's really big, and I guess that could have been done by a dragon. You're sort of looking around, but you do keep on having your eye drawn to this big mound of treasure, because it's not just like coins, although there are a lot of coins. There are some other things there as well.
Yeah, so what I was going to wonder was, like, is this treasure that pirates might have amassed, or is it just such a random assortment of different things that it wouldn't make sense?
It's quite a random assortment. I mean, like, the top layer does seem to be mainly kind of coins, and they're not just copper. There's a whole load of different things. You do see under the frozen coins, there's this sort of fabric, almost like a tapestry, which does seem stunning and probably very valuable. But the reason why I sort of held off on Xalfiz's turn is because you do notice that sort of half buried in the frozen coins appears to be a block of solid black ice with these veins of silver and purple that in itself does seem to have a power. And just looking at it, you feel yourself drawn to it, like you want it. You're not sure why, but you want it. But you know that Xalfiz has been searching for these things for a while. He's mentioned to you numerous times, and you think you may have found it. And he does. He is just sort of clambering over the deck above you right now.
Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, Gann, he sees this, he wants it, but he is a dreading, like, he's convinced now that, and I know my rolls haven't been good, but just from common sense, this doesn't make sense. He looks back to the kobolds like, where is your patron now?
What's that?
Where is your patron?
Oh, I don't know. He could be here any minute, to be honest. And maybe you should stay away from that treasure that's not yours.
How often is your patron here?
Oh, they're here every day, probably every single day, probably here in like 5 minutes, like 5-6 minutes. I would have thought, like, just stay away from that treasure, right? It's not yours.
Can I do an insight to see if he's lying?
Yeah, sure. Let's see if Niall can fail a different skill for a change.
What's the point of me even rolling? Oh yeah, 6 + 4. Yeah, there we go, 10.
Oh wow, he's not joking. I thought that was. Oh man.
No. Okay. Gann is going towards the stairs to where Xalfiz is, and he will tell him about the.
Well, I mean, Xalfiz is right above you. The big hole is right above you.
All right. So, Xalfiz, that.
Yes.
There's something down here you should see, but I think we need to get out of here. Come look quick. I think.
Okay. Fine.
Go on.
Yeah, I mean, so I should come quickly, but we should also leave because we're in danger. Okay. Xalfiz is gonna like just walk down the stairs at an infuriating, like, relaxed, normal pace.
So you do stare down at this enormous pile of treasure and this frozen block of black ice that is right there before you. You finally found it. I'd like you to give me an investigation roll.
Cool. Where's my investigation? All right. Oh god, it's actually good. Thank God. I got a 22.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. So there's sort of layers and layers of this treasure, and you think there is more of this black ice there, but there's also another other items as well. Can you cast Detect Magic? Is that an ability you have?
It is not. I have Arcana though.
I believe I can.
Yeah, if you want to cast Detect Magic upon the pile.
Me and Niall made sure not to overlap in spells, so definitely one of us had it at one point.
Yeah,
we might both thought it was boring though, because it kind of is.
Yeah, I've got Detect Magic. I will cast Detect Magic on it.
Okay. Do you need to cast it as a ritual, or have you got it memorized?
It's a Furbolg trait. They can cast Detect Magic once for short
nice.
rest.
Okay, so not only is there magic glowing from the black ice, and you think there are at least 3 pieces, although only one of them is visible, you do see the shape of what appears to be a magical ring in the shape of obviously it's round, but there's 2 prongs off the front of it. And it's radiating quite powerful magic, but it is buried beneath the coins, a couple of inches down.
The ring of the tuning fork. You can sing really good with that.
Can I use my last 2nd level spell slot to cast Heat Metal on just some of the coins to start melting the ice?
That's a fantastic idea. So you two are kind of, it's gonna it's
but
still
at the
gonna
same
take
time,
a while. Like it's not going to be minutes. It's not going to be seconds. It's going to be quite a few minutes, maybe. Like
I would
30.
like to do this, but also say we can take what we can get, but I think this might be a dragon's horde. We should probably let the others know and get ready to run.
Sure, I guess that makes sense. I mean, there's gold, cobalt checks out.
Get off that treasure. That is not yours. Stop it. Hey, away from there. Stop that magic. Yeah, right. Stop it. Stop it.
But buddy, you need to keep quiet, or we're going to tell your patron that you let some raiders take all the gold, and we're bringing it back.
I'll tell the patron. You watch me. I'm going to go tell it. It all gets kind of very quiet.
2 of us just having an absolute argument, like 2 Karens in the car park just fighting.
So, back in the captain's cabin, I need you to make me a history roll. Oh no, we've done that already. Sorry, no, you don't at all. There's no library in D&D. So, you do start flicking through this book. And do you want to do it together? I imagine it's quite an enormous journal you can flick through. This is actually an opportunity, if you wish, to describe one of the captain's, or at least the ship's, incredible adventures. If you want to, this is an opportunity to earn some.
This is lazy writing, Joe. This is lazy writing. Literally says in the D&D manual, write your own adventure here.
This is your opportunity to tell us
I will
what he
read
did.
from the book. This is a great opportunity to allow the player of that character to make up a credible story.
Okay, fair enough.
If the player accepts the challenge, award inspiration for that to that player's character.
How long ago did Blue Moon exist exactly? Like how long ago?
Like within your lifetimes. Like it's like
Okay.
He, as far as you know, he was still alive, rampaging the Sword Coast.
Okay. Oh no, maybe there's an entry of him fighting the Eye Catcher and the Heartbreaker at one point. There you go.
So what other Eye Catcher in the Heart?
Eye Catcher and the Heartbreaker are Jarlaxle Baneray ships.
Oh, nice. Oh, I love that idea. Yeah, absolutely. That's really cool. And I think that kind of builds into that. I can give inspiration. That's cool. And I think we will turn to the last page of the journal where it says, what was that pirate voice? Arr, that damned white dragon is back, circling above me like a vulture. I reckon she could carry the ship back to Luskin were she of a mind to die from starvation, bitter cold, or a dragon. Choices. And
Helen just looks at Graham and is like, that's not good.
Dragon. So I proceed to, I don't have to use rope or anything to get out now, so I can just kind of walk out with my earring, right?
Oh, yeah, you really can, yeah.
I just walk along the side of the ship, walk up. I'm like, Gann, Xalfiz, I'm pretty sure we have a dragon problem.
And you step up onto the aft, the aft deck, and over the howling wind, you hear something. Could it be? No. You hear the flapping of titanic wings, followed by the cracking of ice under the weight of something immense descending through the crowds. A loud snort accompanies the second roar as the clouds break apart and the enormous shape, an ancient white dragon, comes crashing towards the ship. Graham, what do you do?
I run away.
It's crashing. It's fine. It's already dead.
Talon, before Graham runs, and Talon is also gonna shoot off straight away. Like he'll just look at Graham and go, "That halfling is getting fucking nothing. Absolutely nothing."
Not a dime. Absolutely not.
So as you dart out of sight down the kind of like back of the ship, I guess Talon on a rope and Graham using your newfound spider walking, I need you both roll perceptions as the dragon sort of descends towards the main deck of the ship.
Mm-hmm. So I've rolled a natural
That one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, I rolled a 19. It's okay.
Boy,
Oh my
boy.
So Graham is
Oh, man.
far too panicked, and he's just disappeared back into the captain's cabin. He's out of sight. But Talon, as you descend down, you do kind of on the ropes, you do get a moment to peek at the dragon's form. It is terrifying. This is an ancient white dragon, and you feel your heart pounding in your chest, and you can barely force yourself to stare at it through the kind of snow that it's bringing with it. But you do see on its back is a harness, and a black frozen figure sits in the harness on its back. The dragon descends with a crash. The whole boat shakes. Its neck stretches out, almost as tall as one of the masts. And it sniffs. I smell flesh. I hear the panic of beating hearts. Ready your spells, Melthorond. We have uninvited guests. And then you duck down behind the back of the ship. Xalfiz and Graham, the dragon has crashed down above you, and you can hear from the back of the ship the sound of chanting cease. All right, I told you shouldn't have touched that treasure. He's here now. He's here now. Veiled tourists, you've got people in there trying to steal your treasure. Come down here. The dragon goes, my minions have done well. What do you do?
Oh man.
Xalfiz is immediately going to cast Disguise Self and make him look like a kobold. I'm the same, because I'm the same size as them, right?
Nice, yes.
And while that's happening, it's like, they're taking treasure. Then now he's going to try to start doing an impression of their voice.
Would my hat of disguise also allow me to look like a kobold?
Yes, it would. It absolutely would, yes.
Okay, I'm now a kobold in a wheelchair.
Hopefully the dragon hasn't got a really bad short-term memory. Or we'll make up a story. Look, it's been tough.
I'm a new member. A new member of staff.
The agency sent me out.
Yeah, it's my first day.
So the dragon begins to, its first claw crashes down through the gap into the hold below near you, Gann. What you see is you're next to treasure, but you're also, behind you is another cabin behind, so it's underneath the foredeck. So the kobolds are in the aft deck at the back of that one. There's another door behind you, but your heat metal spell has also melted the treasure enough if you want to grab some stuff.
No, I'm not stupid. No, I turn into a rat and I run into a dark corner and cower away.
Would you take me for a fool?
Would you like some death gold? I mean, gold?
Gann isn't that greedy.
Okay, so the scene is we have Xalfiz stood on the top of the pile of treasure as a kobold. Gann is hidden in the corner. The dragon's first foot is descended down, and we have Talon and Graham in the captain's cabin.
And I'm disguised as a kobold.
You're disguised as a kobold.
I do have deception. I think I could lie through this.
I can do this.
I'm feeling confident.
I'm confident I can lie to an ancient dragon.
Yeah. Helen then is gonna go and open the door.
So the door, it kind of only opens like an inch, and it hits against this ice that's frozen it shut from the other side.
Right. Okay, so we figured out that the dragon's the boss here. Okay. Talon doesn't speak Draconic, so he's gonna do it in common, or he could. Yeah, he's gonna try speaking like a kobold. Terrible. This is terrible.
You're
He's
from
like,
London, right? They speak like this, right?
I am not from London. I'm from near Birmingham. I'm Brummy kobold.
Do a Brummy accent. You can be a kobold.
I'm so glad I didn't, because I was going to originally make the troll Brummy. I'm so glad I didn't do that.
No, it's fine. I've got a West Midlands accent, so.
I hear a hoot from the tree. No, never mind.
It's alright, he can't do an Irish accent either,
So I
it's
can't
fine. He just thinks it's Brummy.
He's gonna do like this really poor imitation that sounds nothing like the other kobolds, right? So it's immediately like completely stands out from the other kobolds, and he's like, "Excuse me, boss, but these people downstairs, they aren't here for your treasure."
So the dragon head, which is about to descend down into the cargo deck below, whips round. Hear something, Meltherond. Ready your spells. Do you want to give me a deception roll?
They're all falls apart. Okay.
Your living millennia won't give you great insight into people.
Oh well, it didn't roll. 1 second. Okay, 7 plus 6, 13.
Oh, okay. Let's see how that does.
I'm just a silly little kobold.
Oh no!
The dragon rolled a 2. Even with its modifier, it's convinced.
Yes.
And its head kind of descends, and it's like almost the size. Well, I mean, it's enormous, and it faces against the door, and its breath breathes in, almost knocking you back. Its claw snakes, licks the door open, and it looks in at you, and you see that its ancient eyes are white and milky with cataracts, completely blind. It sniffs the air. I smell human and something else. Come out. What do you mean? They're not after my treasure.
Yeah, he's like, yes, we are not after your treasure. I am new, sent from management. Hi. I'm not laughing in character. We got here and there was a giant and no, a troll, wasn't it? Sorry, I get them confused. But yes, he was here trying to take your treasure. But these people, the human you smell, and the other people, we are, they were all here to help.
So the dragon's head rises up and disappears from sight, and it brings itself round the foredeck where the enormous body of the troll lies down, and it opens its mouth and crunches down upon its body and begins to feast. Xalfiz, what do you do?
So he's basically now at the top of the stairs eating a troll beside a giant hole in the ground that's beside this door.
Covering the entire main deck, yeah. I mean, like, if you look up through the hole, you just see its belly above.
Okay.
You also potentially heard the world's worst kobold impression.
Just out of curiosity, how did Gann get on with that heat metal spell?
Yeah, the treasure is melted. At least a big chunk of it has.
Then that one of the black guys I can see is free?
Yep.
Cool. Slide ahead, please, boss.
As is this magic ring as well.
Yeah, sure, we'll go for the two of them, if possible.
Oh, you so greedy.
So the door at the back of the room has opened, and these two kobolds have kind of strode out, and they're sort of swaggering. And they're like, "All right, who are you?"
All right, I'm Colin. I can't do this accent. It's gonna be so terrible. In it, bruv. I'm Colin.
Colin. I mean, that's a proper kobold name. I appreciate that. That's good.
What's yours?
I'm Trevor. In it. What do you mean? You must know me.
Oh, you're Dave's brother.
I'm Trevor Kobold, and this is Stephen. All right, Stephen. All right, I'm Stephen. It's nice that you've come along to hang out with our new tribe of kobolds.
Yeah, but it's reckless, isn't it? You got this treasures lying out for trolls to be robbing.
Yeah, it's not good, right? But normally our dragon comes by every now and again. All we need to do is like help her and like clean her down, keep this place nice, make sure no one's still. There was like a giant here a minute ago, like a big blue guy. I don't know where he's gone. Maybe we should go and look for him.
Isn't that him? He's all like cooked up and stuff. I sound like Wes from Ainsley. Nobody knows.
No, not the troll guy. Not the troll guy. There's another one. We need to find him. Anyway, everyone spread out. Let's see if we can find him. And the kobolds start. The two kobolds start looking around the room for you guys.
I'm pretty sure he ran upstairs when the dragon came. I think he's hiding like up near the ballistas and stuff.
I am gonna need a deception check.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Okay, I've got a plus to that. +1. We'll take it.
You might get lucky. Talon managed to convince it. So.
Ooh, there we go.
15,
Not
baby.
Wow, I am gonna give him a roll because that's the rules and stuff.
Because it's true.
A 2. That's two twos in a row.
Good.
All right, thanks, Colin. That's a good tip. All right, we'll go look for him upstairs. And the two kobolds go up.
I'm gonna just clean up this area, Trevor. Like it's real reckless. I don't want to report you to your dragon and all, but like you just let the treasure hanging out here. It's not even an ice or protected or anything.
Well, maybe you could help out in the future, right? And they
Sure thing.
disappear up the stairs.
Yeah, look after that.
Graham, what are you doing?
I'm gonna stealth and try to go up on the main deck.
Okay.
As sneakily as I can. I'm gonna try and obviously using the new earring that allows me to walk around pretty freely. I'm after witnessing Talon and the dragon situation here. I'm like, okay, so dragon is definitely blind, which means stealthing isn't that useful. But I guess I could try and sneak past and get towards the treasure area to find out where Gann has gone, or Xalfiz, because I don't know where they are or what's happening.
Okay. Yeah.
Karen, don't ruin this on me.
Roll for stealth, please.
Okay, here we go. That is a 8.
I fucking hate you.
So two things. First of all, dragons have something called blind sense, which allows them to see without their eyes. They can basically sense any movement around them for quite a long way. Secondly, you kind of step out of the cabin and start descending the staircase and bump into two kobolds who are walking up the staircase.
Yeah.
But let's see if they can beat your stealth. Yeah. So that's a 7 + 2, that's a 9. So basically you're kind of like sneaking down like the Grinch straight into
Like the
Hey,
Grinch.
he's here! Hey, a dragon! And the head begins to whip.
I told you, didn't I, bruv? He's up there.
What do you do? I'll give you an action.
Give me an action.
Yeah, the enormous dragon begins to spin. The whole boat begins to tip as it pivots on its mighty legs. Everyone kind of feels themselves rocking to one side.
I wasn't trying to take anyone's gold or anything.
Can Talion try and divert the situation if
I
possible.
think that's probably a good idea.
Talon has
Graham is
been
dead.
listening to hearing these kobolds speak, and he thinks he's got it now.
Okay.
So he comes out the cabin and he's like, "Oi, mate! No, they ain't here. They ain't here to steal treasure. He's one of them ones that killed the blue bloke, ain't it?"
Okay.
That's my accent, to be fair.
So much better
really
than
good.
Owen's.
Absolutely, that's me, innit? You wicked. And I start talking like the kobolds.
Anyway, I'm here for management, and this ship just ain't up to code.
So I think this is going to be a persuasion.
Okay.
As I'm obviously pleading for my life here, I'm going to assist in any way I can. But that's exactly the case. So you could roll with advantage, perhaps.
Okay.
Two people pushing the same story.
Well, that
think-
was a 19 for my first roll.
Okay.
Nice.
That sounds very persuasive.
Yeah, so 19 plus 6, that's 25.
Okay, this enormous dragon head, the head alone is the size of a wagon, stares down above you, 10 feet away, looking down at the two kobolds, the kobold in the wheelchair, and Graham looking completely ice white and scared. And the kobolds look up at him and go, "She's right, you know. Hang on a second, dragon. This guy, he helped save your treasure. He killed that big troll thing that you just ate. That was good, wasn't it?"
Yeah.
The dragon goes,
Exactly. That was me. Me.
"Elrond, what do you think?" The dragon looks back to this rider on its back. This man dressed in wizard's clothes, archmage's clothes, in this elaborate harness. And when you look at it, you see nothing but a corpse. Whoever this wizard was is long dead. But the dragon doesn't seem to know. Does anyone want to do anything?
Mr. Dragon, sir, it appears that your wizard is a little bit dead.
The kobolds all start frantically rubbing, crossing their hands. No, don't say that, don't say that. And then the two kobolds run down the stairs and the dragon's head whips back at a mighty speed.
Talon jumps in and he goes, no, just meant you look dead cool, innit? Them robes, they's well nice.
Absolutely. The most handsome wizard I've ever seen. Truly.
Xalfiz and Gann, what are you doing during this exchange above?
Xalfiz is definitely trying to get some of that ice because he knows.
Oh,
it's
you've got
certain,
it. It's already there. You've got it. You've got the ice. You've got the ring.
and slipping the ring onto his finger just so he doesn't lose it.
Does anything happen when he does that?
No.
No.
No, I can punch things
Not
and
gonna be-
pinch them.
It's not going to be suddenly he takes
give me
80
an
points of damage or
Arcana
something.
check.
Aha! So is this about the history of the item?
No.
Sure, we can
Because
play this.
if it's a
Yeah, why
magic
not?
history check, I get advantage.
Okay.
Recognize it actually, yeah. That's fair enough.
I rolled an 18.
18. Okay, so this is a mighty item and famous, apparently, in history. I am going to ask you to tell me who was the owner of this item and what daring deeds they use it for.
Do I know anything about this? Is just a regular ring then? Is that what you're telling me?
No. So
Okay.
it is the Ring of the Ram. So it can cast forth a ghostly ram which charges forth with magical power and blasts apart enemies.
Okay, so there was a famous fighter years ago on the Sword Coast, went up and down the coast, just kind of fighting wrongdoers and looking to do justice. A guy called Iskar, and famously just took down large groups of trolls and just foes that he shouldn't have been able to take on his own, and that were way bigger than him. But this is the kind of thing that got him out of trouble.
So this ring allows you to do two things. The first one is to summon this kind of ghostly ram which charges forward and crashes into enemies, doing force damage. The second one is you can expand a part of the ring's power to blow apart objects that aren't being worn or carried, things like walls or floors or other things that this ring can completely obliterate.
Okay. So it's clearly meant for Xalfiz.
I know that when you get a new thing, it can be awfully tempting to use it on the nearest biggest thing.
I'm fully aware.
please
I'm
don't
fully
do
aware.
that.
Hey, hold up, Mister. I rolled a 2 while standing past the ancient dragon. I'm the one that's going to ruin this for us. I'm the one that's the trouble here.
I'm the trouble.
And I'm the trouble. I think of this one. The ice, like, am I okay to just like pick it up and hold it and throw it in my bag, or like what's the
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But just for the record, I would have used the thing.
Okay, so Xalfiz is kind of playing around with gold and silver and rings and black ice. Gon, what are you doing above as the dragon kind of descends towards Talon and Graham above?
Oh, what am I doing? I am a rat right now, so.
I mean that's a fair choice. I mean, you know,
It's small, it can stay hidden. I'd like to. I mean, I guess I just climb up on like Xalfiz's shoulder or something like that. Just like, yeah, I don't. There's not much I really need to do.
I mean,
right
from
now.
where you're standing, you can probably see the dragon above you, and you can probably see the harness, which is sort of, you know, the strap
I'd like
that
to
goes
climb up on
around
that.
the dragon, up to where the wizard, the corpse, is above it.
I'd like to climb up that.
Well, if he's on my shoulder before he goes, can I say something to him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gann, can you turn into something that swims? Like, I'm looking for a little mouse nod or whatever.
I shake my head. I can't. I've already used my wild shapes.
Cool. That's handy to know. You may need to just regular swim at some point, just FYI.
Mouse nods.
Oh, okay. That's
And,
that's all the approval Xalfiz needs.
Okay, so
I will run and try to climb up the side of the harness to the top.
Okay, so unless anyone wants to do anything else, it sounds like the dragon is about to do something above the other two. Xalfiz, do you have a plan?
Yes, potentially. It's like, do I think the dragon is going to do something not cool to my friends, basically?
So, Talon and Graham, I'm going to give you an option as well. So the dragon stares down at you. You can feel its mouth, or you can see its mouth opening, and blue fire is building up inside it. It looks down at you and it says, "What did you say?"
I said your wizard is incredibly handsome.
Yeah, we said you look dead cool.
You hear from below, "I don't think that's what he said.
That is absolutely what he said. Shut your trap.
That's not what you said. I heard it.
Shut up."
It's exactly what I said.
You shut up."
You just hear Talon shout back, "Don't make me come down there and punch you in the noggin, because I'll do
Come
it."
down here. I don't mind.
You want to fight
punch
me?
you back.
You want to fight me?
I want to fight right now.
Okay, fine.
Big man with his dragon, yeah?
Yeah, Talon also then looks back at this dragon and goes, "Again, even you kobolds, they ain't up to code."
So are you
Oh my
going
God.
down the stairs to where
I approach the top of the stairs and I'm gonna be like, "Come up here if you want to chat shit, mate."
So the Trevor is at the bottom and he's going, "I'm not coming up there, you come down here."
No, you come up here.
"Why should I come up there? The dragon's up there, he's gonna blast your buddy."
Well, that sounds like you're a bit of a pussy, really.
As Trevor says, he's going to blast your buddy. Xalfiz is going to like drop his disguise and go, "Did he say blast my buddy?" And he's going to like punch the floor of the ship with the ring.
So
And-
the floor above or the floor below?
As in where I'm standing. I realize this is not a great idea, but basically I'm trying to blow a hole in the bottom of the ship. Well, I'm trying to summon the ram to blow a hole in the bottom of the ship, not directly beneath me, but somewhere on the floor to try and like break it. So like, I imagine it's like almost like a shockwave of a bomb. So it breaks the ice and blows part of the floor out of the boat, so it sinks.
That is exactly what happens. Like,
Cool.
the floor
I'm sorry.
kind of disintegrates, and so does 2 feet of ice below, but the ancient and broken ship does not act well to being so mistreated, and tremors begin to tremble along the beams, and the whole ship itself begins to fall apart around you, cold water explodes upwards with the change of pressure, and everyone is blown back. The dragon loses its footing from above and begins to flap into the air,
Oh no.
but not before letting go an immense blast of cold fury. And Graham, I need you to make me a dex save.
Guys, I used my idea because I have the brains.
Xalfiz is the practical.
Yeah.
I've rolled a 2.
Oh no.
Wow. So
boy, oh boy.
I don't need to roll for damage.
No, you don't.
As
But you should, though.
Graham's
Just for
frozen
spectacle.
form drops down the stairs as an icicle. So I mean that's 76 points of damage.
No.
Oh.
Wow, yeah. So I had 7 HP, for everyone who's wondering.
Yeah. So
I'm now on 0, right?
Is that a straight out death?
yeah. So that's
Ah.
a very very dead Graham, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
No.
But the plus side is the dragon is now in the air.
Well,
and
no,
the
it's
ship
not.
And able to
is
see-
into
able
the
to see us
frigid
all.
waters.
The dragon goes like flying up in the air, and Talon just shouts after it, "Told you your ship ain't up to code."
The kobolds are like, "What the hell? You've just broken our goddamn ship! Where are you going? Come back!" And the dragon is just like flying away.
I'm on the dragon.
Dragon is just like flying away.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
I love Joe doing an impression. If we don't gif or clip Joe doing the impression of a dragon flying, I'm going to lose my life.
And it is getting higher and higher and higher. Below you can see these kind of like cracks in the ice going further and further and further out from the ship as the very sea of moving ice is being completely destroyed by the shockwave generated by this magical ring. In the boat, Talon and Xalfiz, you're being thrown from side to side. The frozen icicle of Graham just kind of like slides down the staircase, resting on the floor next to you.
Talon, with like the sway of the ship, is just gonna like jump ship over the side.
The side, it's probably actually, so the ship kind of tips over to one side. You're actually going up the side of the ship, over the railing, and onto these kind of broken, what are they called, like ice. Someone help me out.
Bergs.
Iceberg.
It's there. There's small
We got it,
icebergs. Or flows. Ice flows.
Xalfiz, you're still in the frozen forms. Still in the frozen hold.
I'm trying to wonder, like, do you reckon the small human-shaped icicle is 2 feet in diameter? I'm looking at my shoulders one. That's about 2 feet, right?
Yeah, why not?
You're gonna put him in your bag.
I think it's less than 2 feet.
God.
The bottom of the slipway, the bag of holding, capture Graham up and stroll off the ship.
I guess
Nice.
it's a corpse. He's not alive.
Not only am I the brains, I'm a team player.
Okay, so as Xalfiz and Talon make their way across these kind of broken icebergs towards their ride home, Gann, you
Bag of
are
holding.
getting
Sorry.
higher and higher and higher, clinging onto the bottom of this icy dragon.
I mean, I'm gonna try to climb up to the top because I'm so high up at this stage. I don't. I'm gonna climb around to where the saddle is.
Yeah.
What do I see?
So the saddle is intricately worked, incredibly expensive, and the hide is some very, very rare beast. You don't recognize it, but it's scaly, but its scales are tiny and unusual. And built into it are hundreds of tiny pockets, many of them empty, but some containing unusual magic items which still glow with arcane power. Looking up, you see this desiccated corpse, its teeth sort of torn back as the very force of riding on the back of this dragon has torn away the flesh of its mouth, and it stares out through blank, dead eyes as you start flying across the 10 towns tundra below you.
Okay, I'm gonna... This is probably a really bad idea. Does he have reins in his hands?
Yeah. Well, yeah, why not? Sure, he's got reins in his hands.
Okay, I'm gonna transform into Gann and take the reins. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna, like, try to steer it.
Hope he doesn't turn around.
Well, I am. Or at least, like, try to, like... See if I move them, does the dragon react in any kind of way at all?
Give me a deception roll.
I don't want to jump, whoever was saying that.
No.
And, oh god, I've got -1 to deception. Oh god, that's a 6. Also, does the harness have a latch on it?
A latch?
Like, where I can unbuckle it?
Yes, I mean, that's what he's buckled into. The dragon, realizing that an enormous 8-foot giant has appeared on its back, looks round, and although a lizard can't grin, somehow it manages it and flips upside down. You try to grab on to something, but you feel your fingers scraping against the icy harness, finding no purchase. Give me an acrobatics or athletics at disadvantage.
Oh no. Oh, at disadvantage, Joe, it's me. I might as well just roll a 1 and get it over with. They're both +1. Alright, here we go.
Come on, the lads. Oh.
At disadvantage, I got a 10. 9 + 1.
That is not enough.
Oh.
And your fingers slip and you find yourself falling.
Can I try to, like, break the rider off, or, like, if I'm falling, can I, like, just try to pull the rider off with me?
Yeah, okay. You're gonna have to make a roll though. So this would be probably be a strength athletics or a dexterity acrobatics.
They're both the same, so I'll just, I'll do the strength. Oh god, why?
Oh my
god, I'm just the worst. I get an 8 + 1, so it doesn't matter.
So you grab onto the rider's cloak and the rotten fabric rips, and you find yourself holding threads as you plummet 500 feet down the icy tundra below. And that is where we're going to leave tonight's stream. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and thank you, everyone, for playing, and thank you so much, Sarah, for joining us. I'm glad you survived, because it sounds
Just
like
about.
everyone did. We're going to continue a little bit of a chat over on twitch.tv/doesitRoll. So if you are watching us on twitch.tv/D&D, please do head over to /doesItRoll, and we're going to do a bit of an after game chat. But I would like to just give an opportunity to Sarah. Do you want to plug anything you'd like to plug while we still have a last couple of minutes or last minute?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at mustangsart. Post a lot of stuff about D&D, and not just that, TTRPGs as well. I work for Talsorian Games, Paizo. I've now been picked up by Steamforge Gaming. I'm doing a lot of games and adventures and things, so you'll hear all about that on my Twitter. And my pinned tweet is the combat wheelchair, which you saw today in the session. That's what Talon used. There are also a line of miniatures from Strata Miniatures as well that feature combat wheelchair using characters, and half of the proceeds go towards charity for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome at the Ehlers-Danlos Society in the UK, because that's something that I have. So I would very much like money to go towards research and awareness. So yeah, feel free to just come along, check it out, and yeah, enjoy using the stuff. And I really enjoyed playing today. It was really nice to play D&D again as a player and not a DM.
You fit in the group pretty well, to be fair.
Really well. You need to bring your kobold back, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love how we make kobolds bureaucrats.
I think I'm going to hand over to Owen to do our after game chat hosting. But again, thank you everyone for watching, and thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we will be continuing for the next I guess the sort of 15-20 minutes as post Does It Roll.
There we go. So we're trying to make this more professional, this after show chat, and take notes as we're going through and stuff to ask. This was an interesting game to take notes on.
Yeah.
It's like it starts off with a couple of normal questions, then it's like madness in my notes. Like there's a section that's going to take out. But the first question, look, starting off, I quite enjoyed the different start of goat ball. So I'm going to start with Joe and ask, where did you come up with that idea? Is it in the book? Isn't it in the book? How much of it was your own idea?
So there's two inspirations for this. The first one is Goliaths do have a game called Goat Ball. There's two quests within the book where you can interact with the Goliaths, and you can also bump into them as sort of random encounters. And they do have this game called Goat Ball, but the way it's described in the book is very much like dexterity, acrobatics, or strength, athletics, opposed rolls, and that's kind of it. And I wanted to do something more with it. But also, Sarah on her Twitter has been talking about this idea of murder ball, and although you hadn't gone into any detail, it kind of sparked off the idea. And there's an image within the book which kind of shows Goliaths playing a game. And I had the idea of goat ball in my head, the idea of murder ball in my head, and I thought we love skill challenges on Does It Roll, so let's do something like that. And it sort of sparked from there. And I also wanted to have an opportunity to showcase the combat wheelchair, and this seemed like a perfect opportunity for doing that.
Okay, I guess I'm going to ask the players next. Sarah, seeing as Joe talks about showing off the combat wheelchair, it's a pretty strong entrance into the Does It Roll world for the combat wheelchair. How did you find Goat Ball?
I really loved it. Some of the maneuvers and stuff, like the way that Talon tried to tackle one of the Goliaths, is the way that that people who use wheelchairs and play murder ball actually do tackle each other at incredibly high speeds, and almost like they hit each other like genuine like bumper cars, like at full speed. And it's really amazing murder ball because like people get knocked down and don't push themselves immediately back up because of the way the chair's designed. A lot of the design for the combat wheelchair came from murder ball and sports wheelchairs.
I think there's someone in the chat, Misty, who's a follower of ours, said she's played wheelchair sports and says it's crazy vicious, basically was what she said.
Yeah.
I've seen some of it as well, some of the Olympic stuff, and it's just mad, but it's definitely kind of not a way I've thought of sports in D&D to be done. I've not seen sports done in D&D, so it was definitely good.
It was a lot of fun.
I was trying to find the picture, but I can't. But I mean, if you just Google, I swear, Rime the Frost Maiden Goat Ball, you'll see this amazing picture of the Goliaths playing it. And it seemed like a really epic way of starting, which allowed the characters to take control of the narrative rather than me. I mean, I don't think I did very much other than saying, and what happens next, and what happens next. And I think you guys did such an amazing job of making it really dynamic and really exciting. And I genuinely didn't know to the end who was going to win. It was really cool.
Well, I really didn't, just saying.
Was there a different outcome if the score had went differently? Because there was a couple times where we could have lost that 2-1 easily. We stopped like on the last roll twice, I think 3 times maybe.
Yeah, very much so. So the reaction of the Goliaths would have been very different depending whether you'd won or lost. So if they had won, it would have been the Goliaths who would have wanted to interact with you, and there would have been an opportunity to forge some alliances with them, particularly with their kind of Griffin Riders, which would have been really cool. But yeah, so it very much would have depended on how the game had progressed.
Yes, here is the image.
I was just getting the image. I was going to save it as well. So I'll throw the link in chat as well.
It's pretty cool.
It's really cool.
It's very, like every one of us beforehand were talking about it after seeing that image. It reminds you of so many different fantasy or gaming type sports. Like Final Fantasy X is reference I had. You had Airbender. Having a similar sport. Avatar, yeah. So after that, the next thing I've written down, like we got to the ship. So we got to the ship and you described this, or before we got to the ship, you described this creature. And I, for one, didn't have any theories on what it may or may not be.
I had no
Did any
idea.
of your players have any ideas?
Nope. See, the book is a mystery to me. I'm like, I don't know anything about the Frozen North or anything like that. So it could be anything coming up at any time.
Yeah,
I just didn't think we'd get something that could kill us followed by something that will kill us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that felt like a bit much, didn't it? I was like, wait a minute, dragon. Oh shit.
And then the chat, so dragon is fine, but then the chat went, wait, he said ancient dragon, and then there's like 19 messages of that's all the chat did.
Panic!
Yeah. So this is actually a famous. I know I don't know how to pronounce her name, but it's a famous ancient dragon. It's from a number of books. It travels the world with this her dead partner on her back, this wizard, and it's challenge rating 20. I mean, it's not realistic. You couldn't even damage it. So it's about how you deal with it.
I'm assuming I was meant to sink the ship, was I? I was like, don't use it.
I think that was I'd say again, the way I tend to do these things, I don't know how they're going to end. I've no idea. It's just about presenting opportunities. But I mean, rolling a 2 against the dragon's breath weapon, I wasn't sure what else we can do there, but we will discuss.
For the ending, for anyone who's curious, 500 feet equates to 50 d6 fall damage.
I think it maxes at 20.
I'm going to roll that for you real quick.
The average is 170. The average is 175.
It's not fair that I was rolled for me, but here we go.
Okay,
50
so
D6.
In terms of the kind of the chronological order of how we played the game, we saw this kind of crazy, creepy, not polar bears, was all we knew about it. And we got into the ship. There was a troll, right? So we seemed pretty confident facing the troll. I don't think any of us were too worried about that. I would say it's one of the more enjoyable combats I've had in D&D, so I'm not a big combat person. So Joe, like some of the things it was doing, it was healing up. Like, did we see all of its abilities we missed on the troll that was there?
I think because you used fire on it, I think Sarah, you recognize it straight away. Because you used fire on it from the beginning, you really limited its regeneration, so it gains 10 hit points around. Unlike other trolls, it has this icy aura, so if you start its turn in its aura, you take 10 damage, which is pretty terrible. Plus it has the claw and bite attack. What you didn't get a chance to do, if there'd been a sort of an opportunity, sort of downtime to go over its body, which I was hoping to actually do with you, Xalfiz, but I think I actually forgot, which was bad of me, was that its heart can create magic items. So it's got this kind of frozen heart, which is
I'd have never thought to loot the body of a troll, I wouldn't have.
But it's challenge rating 8, so for four level 4s, that's a pretty stark challenge. So that's why I added the ballista, the big bow things, which I don't know how to say.
Yeah,
ballista.
I thought we were off to a great start when I crit it in the back, right?
That was amazing. That was really cool.
So when you said that the ship had ballista first, like, is it a submarine? I thought you were saying ballast, not ballista.
Yeah.
So Kuran, you kind of ran in to engage with it, and I'm very much like Kuran. I am not, I've played a lot of D&D. I'm not very up to date on a lot of the monsters and stuff. Like, how do you feel with knowing about the whole aura freezing your eye drops and stuff?
That was messed up. Immediately, it was just telling me, this is going to kill you if you stay here too long. So I just was trying to engage, disengage, and every time Joe's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "No." That's it.
It's taken me and Kuran 5 to 6 years to realize that. And I'd Kuran, when you're talking about the whole nope and not use the thing, I hadn't planned on using the thing until I was like, well, Joe's killed Kuran. Now what do I do? Like, I was like,
you got to use the thing. But to be fair, everyone will always respect you for using the thing. It's important.
Yeah, I mean, so
you get street cred. You might die, but you'll get street cred. This is
street cred is where it's at. We're massive in the streets, me and Kuran.
Yeah. That's right, man. We're really cool in the streets, right?
I do. So we killed the troll then, and I want to applaud everyone in the call. And I tried so hard, like, not to make a joke about this, but Captain Blue Moon. No one was going to make a like mooning people joke or anything. No. Like, that was the next thing that came up. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I couldn't believe it.
I was just terrified it was going to be something to do with Jarlax or Bainray. The fear set in because I've been running Waterdeep Dragon Heist for a group at home, and like everyone in that game is terrified of Jarlax. So I'm terrified when I roleplay him because he's a terrifying person. So like I was immediately like, oh no, like please don't be him.
There's this great moment when Jarlax was in an Acquisitions Inc. game and he like just stabs one of the characters and says, "Oh, you take 50 points of damage from."
Yeah, he's terrifying.
Purple Worm Poison.
They're like, what?
Yeah,
it's so funny.
I think he's got like he's either got the same or just a slightly bit higher challenge rating than Stradvan Zarovich, which is terrifying.
Jesus.
It's crazy.
hmm
Like
No.
when the two rogues stepped into the captain's quarters, what did you think when you saw the skeleton? Were you thinking, "Oh, this is cool. This definitely isn't going to be anyway a trap or a zombie or some sort of like evil king skeleton"?
I legit was just thinking. I didn't know the hat was like a magical item as well, which is really cool.
Mm.
But I was like, oh well, he probably just hit out here and died. So let's just
Yeah,
It's just-
like
I was focused on the item.
my
Earring.
mind briefly went like, I don't know, like I don't know if it's just my dungeon master mind, but I was like, what if the earring's like a mimic or something, and we're just gonna straight up
Mhm.
die, and that's gonna be the next thing. But luckily, no. Like I managed to trick Graham into getting the hat for me, so I didn't even have to touch the body. So.
I mean, I'm right there with you. I've played enough times with Joe that I hear of anything, I was like, "Oh, this is a trap. Clearly, just take." There's no way there's a magic item just in this
This
room
is
that
too
easy.
good to be true.
Yeah.
But to be fair, if Joe knows that if he wanted to kill me, it'd be very easy. He starts off the game, he would say, "There is a red button. Do not press the red button."
Yeah.
5 seconds later, I'm
Graham
dead.
presses
There you
the
go.
red button.
Joe, I made a mistake. I need a new character, Joe.
Oh no.
So, like in terms of the magic item, Kuran, I'm assuming you're delighted with it. It seems very you.
Yeah, but I'm also very dead. So
Yeah, this is true.
If you look up at the character art, there's 4 different things up there. We can just get rid of 3 of them.
Yeah. So,
actually ridiculous. Yeah.
like,
Now
put
he's
it-
gone.
it's pretty bad, but we put it out to the
We
Dutch
got
Twitter.
wrecked. Bad.
In terms of how inadequate we were in the fight, let's forget about that and let's kind of focus on the cool magic things that now Xalfiz is.
No, we were fine in the
Coco
fight.
got the best name for you ever, right? You're now Xalfiz, the survivor.
I'll take that.
Nice.
It's brilliant.
So, Joe, you threw up on. You threw up? That's not. You threw it out to Twitter to look for magic items that may be cool for the game. Is this something from the book? Is this something you've reskinned? The earring?
Yeah,
And
so
this
it's
guy,
totally
we all know.
reskinned. The Ring of the Ram was a suggestion. Let me see if I can find it. He's suggesting it was because I really like. It's one of my favorite items, and it was like when I saw it, I was like, yes, let's definitely do that. But yeah, so I have a new Twitter account. So it's Joe the DM, I think. Yeah, Joe the GM 1. And I put a thing up saying, let's have some magic item ideas. And there was loads of fantastic ideas. And one of them was the Ring of the Ram. So I thought that would work really well. Sorry, I've got lots of tweets I have to scroll through.
Oh, sorry, I got lots of tweets. I'm so popular.
So it was 10 Scene Shadow.
So-
He's one of our big supporters.
Can I
who
ask, was
suggested
the ring reskinned then from the cloak of our was it Arachnicadia? Is that how you say it?
The earring.
No, it's a genuine magic item. If you look at DMD Beyond or look in the DM's DM's guide, you'll see the Ring of the Ram. That's a genuine thing.
No, not the ring of the ram. The earring. Then was that reskinned?
Oh yeah, so then the earring is something I've created.
Okay, because it's very, very similar to anything involving spiders. It's very close to the cloak of. Because I was looking at that Twitter link, going, which of these can I say I like subtly by liking or saying Xalfiz likes this? And I think it was the cloak of Arachnicadia. I think is how it's pronounced. It's very similar. Except
So
gives you-
it has the powers of the slippers of spider climbing,
Yeah.
but it also has the idea it can turn into a lockpick as well.
that is pretty cool.
But
And-
obviously Graham's dead now, so he won't get to use it.
Wow,
Sad.
Joe. Brutal.
And I think the last thing in the whole ship that I found interesting probably was the Cobalt Friends. Oh boy, I didn't expect to try that accent out.
That was amazing. That was
Oh,
so
right.
good. Particularly Sarah, you did such a good
Yeah,
job.
I was gonna say, Sarah, it fit you like an old glove. Like, how did you enjoy playing hard London Roadman?
I was like, oh, it's like gonna do a silly bit where he doesn't sound like any of the other kobolds, and then the more Joe started doing the voice, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna commit to the bit, and I'm gonna do the impression. So I just went for it. I was like, you know what, like Talon's been stood there, he's listened to them talk a few times now, so I'll just pull the accent. off or see if I can do it. Because I don't know, I think it's like just a kind of a thing of like a DM is that you're that used to doing silly voices anyway. It's like, what's one more silly voice, you know? But yeah, it was really fun, and I think I think squaring up to one of the kobolds was the funniest.
Oh,
So funny.
You're only a
So
pussy.
funny.
You're only a pussy in it. Might be the best line of the night.
I think you're a bit of a pussy,
So
innit?
That was just like, whoa.
This is all just before I was brutally murdered, but I appreciate it.
Yeah. And then Courage running. Yeah, you're a big man with your dragon, aren't you?
Big man with his dragon, yeah.
The bit
It's
as
like-
well where Graham's like said about the wizard being dead, and then
no, that's cool, mate,
dragon.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it's cool, mate, yeah. Your robes, they look sick, innit?
It was too fun to not bring up when you were like, he's got a dead man on his back and he doesn't know that he's dead, and I'm like, oh, this is good. This is.
I also love the
I
juxtaposition of
can't
Mick.
not. That was the red button. You know. Don't press
I mean,
it.
it is probably worth saying that Xalfiz does live in a temple of Lathlander, and you're currently kind of like walking around as chosen of Lathlander with these benefits. Like you can get a spell to get Graham
you
brought
had
back
your
and stuff.
You had the plus 10 hit points too. The magic.
Joe can't hold a cliffhanger for longer than it has been 16 minutes, and he's destroyed a cliffhanger of an episode. For storytelling, Joe.
Owen, there is one thing to point out. You do have Graham's corpse. You don't know where the hell Glon's gone.
I was going to say Graham is fine. Gone on the.
I'm really hoping my moose is like actually a Pegasus moose and like flies off and gets.
I want to open up the next scene with me riding the block of ice as Graham being dragged along being dragged along by huskies or like elk or something. To get back to
Hegamoose.
the temple. Yeah.
Chat. I think if we get enough conviction in the chat that Joe will let me have a Pegasus moose. Just
I love this bullying and peer pressure of Joe.
tweet at Joe the GM and tell him that
The Meese, right? It's a Pegamoose.
Joe the GM1 on Twitter.
Since we moved on to the moose, one of the things we do have is the question of Niall. Did you see any good names in chat, or are you opening up still to some names in chat for the moose?
I'm going to have to go back over the week and look at the VOD and just check out the chat for all the names because there were so many that were thrown up. So I will need time to just decide on one. But
or if they want to decide, they could send it to your Twitter, Niall. You don't know what your Twitter is, do you?
It's how we roll now.
It's not how we roll. It's not how we roll now.
No. At HWR Podcast Niall.
There you go. He's done it. We're slowly bullying Niall into social media.
Hold on, I can type that in chat.
I'm so proud of you, buddy. And the only last thing I have then is I was in now the chat the whole time. I'm going to give this, trying to take notes of some of the best comments of the night from chat. The best comment like came right at the end. As I picked up Graham's body into the bag, someone goes, "Oh my God, it's a bag of colding."
Oh my
Which
God.
is
There's actually there is an actual item called a bag of colding.
What does that do?
It keeps, like, if you were harvesting remains of creatures, it will keep them cold for up to like a certain amount of time.
Okay, fair enough. Do I have to go back and get the 6 barrels on my own now as well? I feel like I can go back to town.
Talon's there as well.
Talon's there.
Oh, yeah.
Sir.
That's true.
The two of you have got a very
Talon
lonely
somehow
journey.
survived after that stunt he pulled. Oh my God, convincing an ancient white dragon that he was there from management.
That was so funny.
Oh, yeah,
So funny.
that is something we should probably address. Do we like the fact that now all kobolds have become like Hermes from Futurama and they're like uber bureaucrats all of a sudden?
Hey, you shouldn't judge just because someone speaks like this doesn't mean they couldn't work in a bank, right?
In it.
That's look, in terms of topics for me, that's all the topics I have. Before I throw it over for us to sign out, is there anyone else or anything anyone wants to talk about or bring up? Because there was a lot in that episode and I definitely haven't captured it all.
I mean, no, I probably will think of things, but it will be later on tonight while I'm having nightmares about falling to my death. I mean, okay, I will. Sorry, Joe, to interrupt.
No, you're gone.
I don't think, like, I know that I'm notorious for bad rolls. Tonight was a different level.
Oh, it's different class. It was up there with the
I
infamous.
succeeded in one roll all night.
Yeah.
You've-
Imagine getting multiple nat 20s, then rolling a 2 when it actually your life was on the line.
Oh my god, though.
As a podcast, we've been going for this is like 5.5 years. There's a session where I had literally counted 2 successful rolls, and your one felt worse than that, and I hated my one, and that was 4 years ago. Like it was incredibly bad. Yours.
It sticks with you.
Yours were nat ones. They weren't just fails.
I had advantage at one stage, and I rolled a 1. Then I rolled a 2 on the other dice.
Oh, lads. So I think that's it from us, guys. I'm going to go around the table, for lack of a better term. And
Can we do our giveaways if we've not already?
Oh, yes.
yeah,
that
we
is
gotta
very
do
important.
And also, we didn't ask Aram if you wanted to.
Yeah,
do
I
anything.
think we need to do a massive thank you to her because we had brief bits of music and sound effects come through and they were spot on. So thank Aram.
I mean,
well,
that
get
was-
every week going.
That was good. I was literally going around the table. He's part of the table. You're throwing me under their bus here, you asshole. I hadn't even forgotten this time. It's in my notes. I have it permanently saved in my notes now.
He would have forgotten.
I would have forgotten. Guys, if you do want to enter the competition, last chance, it's I love DIR, all the one word. The first up is going to be Joe. Do you want to be my lovely assistant and model off the booster pack from WizKids?
These
Look
are
at that.
absolutely stunning. They're so good. So each one of these has like 4 figures in. I think there's like 45 to collect. I've seen a whole ton of them and they're amazing.
They're almost as stunning as the man holding it.
I think it's the Tomb Trapper figure. Don't know where it's gone on here. It's not on the side. Yeah, the two. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's really cool.
Definitely can.
Anyway, yeah, definitely check it out. Anyway, really, really cool.
It's well worth entering for free and dropping us a follow because the channel is so good. So, guys, the only winner of the booster pack this evening is Jellyman 5.
Boom.
Jellyman, if you are in chat, if you can message us in Twitch, does it roll, and I'll say hi in chat. So you can message us there and give us your address. We'll be able to send it out to you as soon as possible. And hopefully COVID doesn't delay it too much. And then the second prize is going to be a copy of the Rime of the Frost Maiden on D&D Beyond. It's a code. When you sign up to D&D Beyond, you can type it in. You get a free copy of the adventure module. What do we call it? I'm a player, not a DM.
Adventure. Yeah, adventure.
So the winner of that is going to be Rudolph Muvo. I think that person's won before, but Rudolph, same as again. If you message me, we'll send you on the code.
Yeah, I think did he win one of the figure boxes a couple of weeks ago?
I'm not sure.
That name rings a bell.
I really
Congratulations,
what,
that's awesome.
What I should do is go back after and take out all the names.
Congrats.
So hold up.
Well,
This
I
is
think
make
he's
sure.
won twice.
Yeah, but I'm told he wouldn't run the Frost Mason. No, he wouldn't run the figure boxes, Rudolph. Thank you for turning up again.
Cool. We got one of everything now.
Yeah.
And
So-
honestly, these figure boxes, they're all different. So like each one has a different set in them. So you could win more than one.
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
There you go. You can keep
45
coming
to
back
collect.
entering.
Congrats,
So-
Jellyman and Rudolph.
Before I was so rudely thrown under the bus by everybody in the cast, except for Sarah. Sarah's delightful. I'm going to go around the table. And first up is our fantastic guest and creator of the combat wheelchair, Sarah. Tell us a little bit about yourself and where people can find you on the internet.
Hey, yeah, like you said, I'm Sarah. You can follow me on Twitter at Mustangs Art. I do a lot of disability advocacy in the tabletop role-playing game sphere in general. And I also write adventures for a lot of companies like Telsorian, Paizo, Steamforged Games, and Red Scar Gaming. So you can see on my Twitter the kind of things I'm currently working on. So yeah, like feel free to follow me, see what I'm up to, and yeah, get involved in some really cool games.
And thank
Well,
you so
we're
much
checking
for
it
doing
out.
this. Your absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
And other European heads. Don't mind all these Americans and Canadians. It's Europe is where it's at. We're the future of RPGs, lads. And seeing as I keep forgetting him, I keep mistreating him. Aram, do you want to come in now and because we'll give you a full time to just really sell the crap out of yourself?
Sure, that's great. Well, my name is Aram, and this is a great game. Actually, this is, I think, my favorite game so far. I had a great time. You all were wonderful. The combat wheelchair was just exceptionally cool. And I just had a really fun time scoring at this one. Also, you guys mentioned Jaraxxle. I got to play Jaraxxle in the last podcast of Waterdeep. I'm going to drop a link to that one with Matt Lilliard and Holly. And I basically was like, I took the dials of camp and fabulous, and just cranked them both to 11, and that was basically him with a handgun. It was great. And if you want to follow more of things I do, I'm on twitter.com/Vardian.
There you go. That is the forgotten man of Does It Roll, apparently, Ram Vardian.
Everyone else remembers him else.
You're such an asshole, Joe. Niall, since you're getting so good at social media, do you want to tell us all about the place we can find you on the internet?
I'm fantastic at social media. You can find me at HWR Podcast Niall, and every now and then I do some tweets off the Does It Roll, How We Roll, or Does It Roll Twitter too. So you can also find me on the Does It Roll and the How We Roll Discords. I kind of jump back and forth around on those whenever I can. I've been very busy lately, so I have not been too active, but yeah, you can find me there too.
And then, Kuran, what about yourself? Where can people interact with you, and what are you trying to sell to us?
Well, they can find me on Twitter. I think it's written just down in the corner.
One of those sides, right?
Yeah.
One of those sides.
one of the directions somewhere. Yeah, I think I'm going to be posting a good bit more about filmmaking stuff in the near future. I'm working on some projects. Other than that, you can find me on the Does It Roll or How We Roll Discords. So that's good. Yeah. That's
and
me.
Joseph, if you can tear yourself away from your many, many tweets you're getting, do you want to tell us about yourself?
I'm the DM of Does It Roll, but also How We Roll podcast. Please do check out howwerollpodcast.com, where you'll find the Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign released every week. And we also have Curse of Strahd campaign and multiple Call of Cthulhu games. We're running Two-Headed Serpent, which is one of the biggest Call of Cthulhu campaigns run by its writer, Scott Dorward. We have lots of scenarios, including many of the people playing tonight. You can contact me on Twitter at, I think it's here, am I getting that right? At HWR Podcast. You can also follow me on my own account, which I've just started, which is Joe the GM1. And I'm currently running a choose your own adventure Call of Cthulhu game where every day people get to choose what happens to our investigator, who was actually chosen as part of the game. And it's getting very deadly for poor Alice. So please do check me out at Joe the GM1 and howwerollpodcast.com, as I said before.
Last but not least, guys, it's myself, How We Roll Own. That crazy bit at the end of the word is own. You can find me pretty much all over the internet with that. I'm on Twitter. I'm on twitch.tv/How We Roll Own. If you want to interact with me on Discord, I've the How We Roll Discord pinned to the top of my Discord. The Does It Roll Twitter should have the Does It Roll Discord. It's also linked down below underneath this. That's pretty much it. I'm on Twitch playing mostly sports games, to be honest with you. But we are going to be doing a bit of Baldur's Gate once the game is a bit more stable, and hopefully I'll be able to convince some of these nerds to play with me as well.
It's probably worth saying as well, for the last 6 weeks, including this episode, we've very much sort of done one-shots. The next 4 episodes to the end of season 1 is going to be very much the main story of Rime of the Frostmaiden. So next week we'll be picking up with poor Xalfiz on his own and his dead companions, and we will be learning the mystery of the Black Ice and finding out exactly what's going on, or at least some of what's going on in Icewind Dale. So please do check us out at the same time next week.
Yeah, so just before we sign off, guys, thank you very much for everyone who dropped a follow. There was too many to name you all here. You know who you are. We also got a crazy amount of subs. Miss Moogle dropped 7. Omega dropped a Prime sub. Conquer Henkus dropped a sub. Was gifted a sub, to Brittle Gills. Evidently, Ivor. Niall also gifted a sub to Joe Mafat and Hamlet423. You're the guys to keep the lights on and keep us coming back and justify us to our partners spending time on your ship playing other people. That's the most important part. We're not wasting our time playing make-believe. So that's all from us, guys. Thank you very much, I think.
Thank you, everyone.
So much. Yeah, have a hopefully see you next week, and thank you for watching us, and thank you again, Sarah, for joining us.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.